R&B Money. We up. Tank. J Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? I am Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B.
All things.
All things. You heard them? We're not playing.
Whatever they encompass.
Say the big word again. Say it again for the people. Encompass.
Period.
You know what the fuck is going on. And today on the R&B Money Podcast, we have singer, songwriter, Grammy Award winning songwriter. Can we say that? Is it okay if we say that?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. And I'm not going to say more importantly, but I'm going to say just as important.
I would say more
importantly.
I would say it's the most important.
Frontline advocate.
Activist.
Yeah.
For us.
Period.
Tiffany Red. Come on in the building. Come on. Welcome. This was quick.
This was quick. It was definitely like, yo, can I come on the show? Can you come on at 5 tomorrow? I was like, great.
Yeah. We editing that part out because niggas gonna be like, hey, they're gonna be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Right.
No, you mean you special, you family. So that's
Thank you.
You get that.
I appreciate it.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really good.
Because you are in it.
Yeah, I am.
You are not playing any games.
No. Or I'm not letting up.
And we're gonna have to figure out how to stand beside you
Oh,
on a bunch of this.
thank you.
Because it's needed.
Yeah.
Right? So before we get to that, we like to start at the beginning.
And how you get into this thing?
How did you, Tiffany Red, when did somebody say to you, or when did you say to yourself, oh, I'm nice. Oh, I got it.
Oh, I'm nice? It took me a long time, honestly, to say, oh, I'm nice.
Okay, so somebody to say
For someone to say. So I started writing. I wrote my first song in college. I was 19. I was randomly surrounded by a whole bunch of people at this community college in Jersey that were musicians. And I had a friend named Blair. And he was just like, yo, Tiff, you ever thought about turning your poems into songs? And I just was like...
So you were a poet at first?
Yeah. Okay. So I've been writing poems since I was like... Well, honestly, it wasn't even that. It just was like, I don't know.
Love Jones? No.
I was just, I don't know. Since I was little, I just was always thought I was hella deep. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just was always like, I still have like I kept all my journals since I was a kid. And I like still journal to this day. And like, I go back and I read the things that I was writing. And it was like, girl, what?
That's crazy. I tried to journal. Somebody bought me.
It's so
good.
One
of my birthdays, they bought me a journal.
It's so good.
And I think I lasted maybe 4 days.
Well, and the thing is...
You got to 4 days?
Yeah. I got to that fourth day.
You bought me that damn book.
I think I was in some sort of like... some sort of like therapy or something, and in the church with the and just write down what you're feeling today, what you want from the Lord today, and about the fourth day, man, I was like, man, can I just tell him?
It wasn't your thing.
Can I just holler at him? You know what I'm saying? Like on the side, like my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I couldn't.
It wasn't your thing.
Even
when you
like
write,
in writing songs.
I was going to say, do you write stuff down?
Yeah. I used to.
Yeah.
We used to, remember
y'all
we used to use the computer?
Sit around in that circle.
Yeah, we used to sit around a circle with the computers and have the words, the syllables and rhyme.
Of sitting in that circle, by the way. I've seen photos of that circle and was like, wow, that's where they're doing it.
Yeah. Okay, poet. Come on, poet.
Okay.
Come on, poet.
I was writing poems since I was like maybe 12. And so, my friend Blair was like, have you ever thought of turning your poems into songs? And I was like, no. And then we went to the auditorium. He plays piano and he just like challenged me to write a song with him. And so I did. The first song I wrote was called Forever in a Day. And it was just like light bulb moment. I have never been passionate about anything in my life yet. Like that was when I was like lazy as fuck, C student, wanted to party, like wanted to go to college to just go to parties, like just, you know.
So you didn't grow up singing then?
No. My sister could sing. I wasn't the one that was really singing. I was writing, but I wasn't singing. So I wasn't very confident in my voice when I first started or any of that. Like I just learned how to sing because that was the only way I could get my demos done. I didn't know any singers for real. So, yeah, but I was never passionate about anything, but that was just like light bulb moment. Like, oh shit. What the fuck is this? Like, I just like electric. And so from there, I feel like that was the first person that was like, not necessarily you got it, but that was just like, yo, why don't you try this? Yeah. I feel like he just like
he pushed you.
Yeah, like he just threw me in that shit.
Wow.
It was dope.
Did you guys record that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember how that should go anymore. But
the fact that you remember the name of it.
Oh my God. Because it changed my life.
The name of the first song I wrote.
That shit changed my life.
My first song was That Was Cold.
I just think it was something about
It was
ice
called That Was
I think
Cold.
mine was something about ice cream though, in relation to a girl and ice cream.
Nice. Metaphoric early.
Yeah, no, you gotta go for
so
early.
sweet.
No, that's the cheat code. Fuck sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, sweet, yes, but it's the cheat code in music. Think about music,
okay,
and think about when a woman is on the same level as something sweet. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing songs. And I'm like, oh, I gotta write a song that makes a woman feel like something sweet.
Yeah. Like Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces, man.
Come on, girl. You know I need this.
Come on, girl.
not like Reese's Pieces.
I used to fuck Reese's Pieces up.
Yeah. Why you have to bring up that song now?
I don't know. This is Reese's Pieces.
That song's a sore spot for me.
You know what? That's
you know what? I apologize. Get past that, man. Fuck it.
I like Reese's Pieces.
That's funny.
Shut up, Bo. Anyway, first song recorded, and the light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And where were you? What's you at college at this point?
Yeah, I was in college.
Where was this?
This was at a school called Camden County College in South Jersey.
In South Jersey.
He was in Camden.
Wow.
It wasn't in Camden. It
wasn't in Camden. No, I was about to say, because yeah.
Oh, no, I wasn't in Camden.
Yeah. I know about Camden.
Camden is rough.
Yeah. So this spark the moment where you say, you know what? I need to start getting in the studio and doing more of this.
Yes. Yeah. Like I was like, I like this. Mm-hmm. This is fun. This feels like I said, it felt like electric. Like that was like the first time my passion kicked in. And my passion, when I'm passionate about stuff, I'm a really impulsive person. Like it doesn't take me a long time to make decisions. Like if I just, like, I don't know, I listen to my intuition always. Like I don't need to question it. So if I get like, oh, I love this, now I love it. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that, so like the moment that happened, I was committed instantly. Like, ooh, I fuck with this. This is the first time that I was like, damn, this is dope. And I was in school. It's so ironic with what I'm doing now, because I was in school for criminal justice and forensic science. And
wow.
Yeah. And so like,
be the police?
I wanted to be a forensic science. I wanted to be like a CSI.
Yeah.
That's still the police though.
Not the police. Yeah, it's like investigating. It's once the shit go down.
It is the police.
But it's like after the shit go down, I want to be there to dust find the fingerprints and put the whole shit together and be like, like I think like I like investigation, like putting shit together, like. So that's what I was in school for, but I wasn't really serious about that yet. I wasn't passionate about it the way that I was passionate about music. I'm passionate about that kind of stuff now, but I wasn't passionate about that yet. But yeah, that's what I was doing.
Was there like a crew? Was there like a certain producer?
In the beginning, so when I first started, that was when MySpace was popping.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a minute ago.
I got in trouble on MySpace. Keep going.
MySpace was,
I had a big record on MySpace.
Did you?
Had a big record?
Yeah. That's where Trouble got cracking.
No.
On MySpace, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
MySpace music.
We had a big record on MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace was the shit. Like, I met so many producers and songwriters on there. And yeah, like that was where I got my first track. Well, where I first started writing.
You remember your top 5 people? You remember? Because they have that was the top
Was
5.
It top 5?
Was it top 5 or top 8?
It was top 8.
Top 8. I used to have to swap.
That's where you get. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where you would get in the fights. It would be like, dang,
you got swapped.
That's your top.
We good though.
No longer the top 8.
You just ain't top.
Damn, that was rough. It was like, yeah, MySpace was. Yeah, it was. That shit was like the streets. Yeah, but so I met this producer named Jalian on there, and this artist named Lee Carr.
I know who Lee Carr is.
Lee Carr. He was signed to Jive at that time.
He was dope.
Carr.
Yeah,
he was dope.
And yeah, like, so it was like Jalian was like sending me tracks, and then I had a cousin so my cousin's wife's brother was an engineer, had a studio set up in his house. So I used to take the train from Philly to New York. I would go to Penn Station, then I would get on a subway and go to Fort Greene, and I would go record my little.
You was locked in.
Oh, I was.
Because that is not an easy trip.
Yeah.
And I was that was the fucking projects. I was in it, but I was young, so I was like 19. I didn't fucking think shit was gonna happen to me. I would just be outside. It's dark and shit. I don't know. I didn't care because I wanted to do music and like. I don't know. I wanted to be free. So when I was in New York, I was like, that was when I was still living with my parents and shit. So I was getting away from my dad and shit. Like, I'm doing my song.
Just out of use.
Doing my song.
I'm doing my song.
I'm sure you were doing more than your song.
No, I wasn't.
Whatever. It's okay.
I was not doing more than my song.
It's okay. That's all right.
I was still with family, so trust me, I was not able to do more than my songs because they had an eye on me. And they would have told my parents.
I like the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Because they had an eye on
You
me.
watch her.
They did. It was family.
So how long are you there before you start to think about making your move?
It was so fast. So I moved to LA when I was 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fast. So actually, I feel like it might have been music that y'all might have written. Did you guys write on you wrote O.
We roll.
Okay, so y'all wrote O. So there was a song on that project called Midnight. Did y'all write Midnight? Did one of y'all write that song?
No.
Was that Underdogs?
I'm not sure if that's even Underdogs. We had
and I'm trying
to. Was Young But I'm Ready on that
I
album?
fucking love that album.
No.
I love that you guys both wrote O together. That's lit.
It was something else that maybe did make that album. But yeah. That
So
All-Star Weekend 2003, I think all those records came about.
Yeah.
So, that album was the first album that I really started to like get into the credits with purpose. Like, I always was in the credits, but I wasn't trying to figure out who anybody was. So, but that album specifically and Midnight, that song specifically, I was like, damn, I fucking love this record. Like, who did this song? Like, I want to work with them. Like, who did this? And so I looked in the credits and it was Harvey and Damon and, whoever else. I think maybe Steve wrote on that song or Eric Dawkins or something. But, and so I went on, I Googled the Underdogs and I found their website and there was like
full CSI.
Oh, yeah, I'm really good at this. I'm good at what I learned. I didn't realize then, but I'm really good at connecting the dots and being like, I'm really persistent. So like, you could tell me no, but that don't mean I'm not gonna ask you again. I'm gonna just ask you another time in another place, and maybe you'll say yes, or maybe you know what I mean. So I hit the contact page, and everybody's face popped up. I don't know who any of these people are, so I just clicked a couple of them, and I sent them my little demos that I was recording in Brooklyn. And this guy named Touch Touch was a publisher. He at the Underdogs. He was like a newly hired. He was new when I first, like literally like first couple weeks. So he was one of the people.
Because by the time you came, we weren't there anymore.
Yeah, y'all weren't there.
But I remember meeting him.
Yeah, I came there in 2007.
Oh yeah, well, I just
Sex,
got
Love,
it.
and Pain.
Yeah, Sex, Love, and Pain.
So I emailed all of them, and Touch was one of the people that I emailed, and he hit me back, and he was just like, "Yo, if you ever in LA, come fuck with us." And I was like, "All right."
That was your invitation.
Nigga, what?
That's all you needed.
What? I was like, lit. These are the people who write. So, because then it was like, once I figured out that they did Midnight, then I just went down a rabbit hole, and it turned out they did all these songs that I loved. And so I was like, damn, I want to work with them. Like, you know, and so I just shot my shot and cold emailed, and Touch hit me back. And so I like begged my parents to come to LA. And
you're still living at home?
Yeah, I was still living at home. Okay. Yeah. And still like young minded as well. I graduated high school in 2005. This is 2007. I haven't moved out yet. I didn't go away to college yet. And I'm the oldest. So I was the first one to leave as well. Mm-hmm. So, and my dad is like hella protective. And so that was just, but so I begged them. They're like, all right, you know, whatever, help me out. I come out here, and my grandmom was like, you know, you got some cousins in LA. So they, you know, I feel me? You know, you got some cousins out there. So she set me up with my cousins that I didn't know and shit. So I met my cousins, more people to watch over me. My cousins was my mom's age. So it was like,
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like,
you got a curfew.
Yeah, like I
don't
still,
come walking in
don't
here.
You come in here, you don't pay no bills. You don't have no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was right, I didn't. But yeah, so I came out here, and I will never forget that. Like, first time I went to the studio, and that was like the first studio that I had ever been in that was like a for real studio. That wasn't like in somebody's closet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, these are all the plaques and all the songs that I fucking love. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I froze. I didn't write shit. I was so scared. I was like, I mean, they were like, get this girl out of here. What the fuck is she doing?
You couldn't come up with anything.
I was because I didn't really, I mean, I was a green songwriter. I wasn't around anybody yet. So this was like James and Rob Knox and like whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I remember like seeing James like freestyle in the booth for the first time and being like,
yeah.
Nigga, I can't do that.
So you got a different type of, type of gift.
I can't do, but everybody was doing that. Him, Steve, Luke, like everybody was like, all right, Tiff, go on the mic. And I was just like, first of all, I don't know how to sing for real. Like, I'm not confident in my voice. Like, I just got.
So these are all the things that are going through your mind as a young writer.
Yeah.
In this industry. Because I would love for you to expound. I mean, you're actually already talking about it, but this is something that's very important. Because when I first came to LA, I went to a studio. I didn't freeze because I didn't end up doing no writing with them, but it made me throw away my songs. Because it was the first time I had walked into a room and I felt like my music wasn't good enough.
Yeah, like I was in a room with professionals.
I was in the big leagues.
Yeah, and you were like, damn, so I'm a rookie. That. And then you realized you was a rookie.
I completely understand that.
I was like, oh shit.
And your situation obviously was different because you were there for that.
Yeah.
I was really kind of a fly on the wall guy when I first, my first trip to LA as an adult. And I'm just listening to all these songs that these guys are playing. And I'm like, damn.
You like, my shit don't sound like that.
It don't.
That's how I felt too.
It's not adding up.
It's not.
I'm like people's backgrounds, people's like stats.
Yeah. But
I'll be like,
the Sonics.
Yes.
The Sonics.
Yeah.
Shit just was clean
and that's something that the Underdogs we were known for.
Yeah, y'all was.
Sonically.
It's crazy.
We top 2, maybe not 2.
Got some
Sonically was crazy.
Sonically, right? There were people with great records. But sonically,
yes,
it was different. It was just different. Even songs like that weren't that good sounded great.
Great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's as honest as I can be about it. Because I would, and I'm that guy. Like, I would listen to him and I'd be like, yo, that shit ain't really that good. And he's like, nigga, this shit crazy. I'm like, it just sounds good. Me and Tank talk about it all the time.
Everybody just right.
Everybody can fucking
just
sing really good.
Yeah.
The music is crisp. The song is trash, dog.
It's like regular.
Like, come on, bro. This is mid.
That's how I used to get lyrics
this shit
off.
is mid.
I used to get bad lyrics off.
Because you just could sing. You just singing real good.
Bob used to be like,
Stack
you just singing it good, dog. I don't
add an extra ooh yeah.
Add little harmonies. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That shit
it's like just like a little flow.
It was a heavy.
But I get it.
Even
where you're just like, shit.
When I went up there for the first time, because I found them through Tyrese.
He was on the 3rd floor when I first got there.
Because I wanted to know who did How You Gonna Act Like That. Because I swore up and down that was a new artist. And I was going back and forth with some of my guys. I was like, no, that's somebody different. They was like this. They was like, could it be Cisco? I was like, nah, Cisco ain't that clean. And I was like, it was like, I mean, it could be Tyrese. I said, nah, Tyrese ain't got that in his bag. That's not him.
That's that.
Right.
That's that vocal. That's that Harvey vocal production.
That's that Harvey Mason
Vocal production. The coldest vocal producer I've ever seen in my life.
Had him in a zone that I could not believe he was in.
Yeah.
Me and Tyrese had already had a sing-off, and I kicked his ass.
And you're like, what the?
But I was like,
You heard
he
that?
has elevated somehow, some way,
Harvey.
and he is cooking, right?
Yeah.
Where did he get the tools, right? The pots and pans and shit to do what he's doing.
Harvey.
And he introduced me to Damon.
Harvey and Damon. Yep.
And Damon hit me with the...
Yep.
And then so I go up to the Underdogs. I finally get a session with him because I was working on my album, and we're trying to work on my album. And the first song we do, I can't remember what the first song was that we did, but the second song we did was Wedding Song, which ended up being on Sex, Love, and Pain. You know, many moons later. But what was crazy about that song is that they wrote it and they wrote word for word everything I was going through at that very moment. I literally sat in that little B room, whatever the little room was, and almost cried. And they had no idea what was going on. They just met me. They had no idea what was going on, and they wrote Wedding Song, and I was living it. And I heard dun dun, and that's like dun, 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 dun. I was like this. What is that? And I was producing, I was writing, I was doing the whole thing, but it was something so different about that sound, and those harmonies, and that vocal production that I had to
mix.
And I had to say, you know what? Whatever y'all want me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm a student. Just coach me.
Yeah.
And that's one of the only people I've ever let vocal produce
you. Yeah.
It's been Harvey Mason Jr., Rico Love, and J Valentine. That's it. And J Valentine would this is how he will vocal coach me. He will vocal coach me while watching NBA basketball and and being on something else. And be like this, do that one again, dog.
Because you just know.
No,
you got one better.
When me
and engineering. When
me and him first started, like, from the writing production side with each other, like where we had our own team, me, him, my brother Bob, and our partner Tex. When we had Song Dynasty, was right around when social media started really kicking off.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that I want to learn things. I've always wanted to learn stuff. And for some reason at that time, it was really hard for us to find an engineer. I don't know why.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Like every engineer, we would try him out and then he would go on the road with somebody. Or somebody would book him out for the next 12 years. And it's like, bro.
Facts though.
I gotta fucking, because when you find a great engineer, you have to
hold on to it.
Yeah.
You got tuck.
Yeah.
And we got caught in a space where we had a studio, we had all the equipment.
But you had no engineer.
We could create whatever we wanted to create, but there was no one to record us. And it kind of, by default,
it just made you do it.
It went to me because I had a home studio. So I knew how to work shit, but I wasn't like fully locked into wanting to do that. But I'm like, out of necessity.
Fuck it, we need an engineer.
So that's how I became
was engineer.
One of the three guys to vocal produce Tank.
I love it.
Because I kind of had to. You know what I mean?
We was vocal produce, he was vocal, and we was writing all at the same time.
No, we was just trying to get the shit done.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But in that building, you know, and shit, that's where I met Jay. In that Underdog building.
We met there.
You know what I'm saying? It was definitely.
That's so dope. How long ago was that?
We met in 03.
2003, yeah. It was a level up moment.
And y'all still working together. That's so
lit.
Yeah.
It was a level up moment. It was like, okay.
Yeah, where you're just like, oh shit,
that's what y'all doing in here?
They writing songs.
But we stayed locked in because of sports.
Yeah. It's my point guard.
Oh,
literally
that's dope.
like that. But because we both, and this is something that in the music business, it's not a lot of. Everybody doesn't.
No, that's
come
why
up,
I said that's
everybody doesn't
dope.
come up playing sports.
Oh.
A lot of people come up, just purely being musicians.
Yeah.
Tank obviously came up as a musician, but he also played sports. For me, I didn't really come up as a musician, but I was a singer and I was in the music business. But I wasn't like, I didn't come up in church. I didn't come up singing in church. I played sports and I sang.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then it was, whatever street shit. You know what I mean? So for me, when I met Tank, it was more of like kindred spirits from the sport aspect. Teammates.
Yep.
Which is
business, so important.
And in this business is very tough
rare,
because there aren't very many teammates
that last that long.
Definitely that last that long.
Yeah.
But also why the Underdogs were so important and why we had initially founded it.
Yeah.
Myself, Harvey, and Damon. And me and Harvey also clicked because of sports. Most people don't know
Basketball.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Great basketball player,
Ball.
played at the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
But we clicked because of that too, though. And he kind of understood the team aspect with that. And that even from building out, it started with that mindset.
That circle of them laptops.
That circle.
Yeah.
But teamwork.
Yeah.
Because before the Underdogs, there may have been, 2 or 3 guys working together. But other than, obviously Motown had their thing, but Motown still wasn't owner operated. If that, you get what I'm saying?
Exactly
like Barry Gordy was still everyone's boss.
Yeah.
Right.
The initial Underdogs
Which is a crew.
was a crew and it was owner operated.
Yeah.
It wasn't like these guys are my bosses.
Yeah.
It turned into that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
it wasn't that wasn't the creation of
Initially,
it.
yeah.
And that's why we kicked everybody's ass for some years.
Yes.
For some years.
Yeah.
And if niggas want to put your shit up next to what the Underdogs did, you can. You'll get your ass kicked.
Look.
But it was unfair to other people because y'all want to run off the names before we even go further?
Go ahead. Run it off.
Obviously, Damon, Harvey, myself, Tank, Eric Dawkins, Steve Russell, Tony Dixon, James Fauntleroy, Luke James, Tiffany Red,
Rob
Knox, Bluetooth,
Kevin Randolph.
Dob.
Can't
forget Doblin.
Can't forget Doblin. No.
Mike Daly.
Mike Daly.
And I'm forgetting some people.
So many people.
No. Who I can't forget. Andrew.
Ooh,
Very important engineer.
Genius.
And he's an incredible guitar player.
Andrew Hay. Genius.
Yes, his father is who he is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's
Absolutely.
like there were so
trumpet
many.
player, right? Is he a trumpet player? His dad is a trumpet player. Or is he a drummer?
No,
Trumpet. I think
It's
trumpet, right?
Yeah, it's horns. He's in my horns.
But just all the guys, and listen, if I forgot anybody, my apologies. But
Just a lot of talent.
there was so much talent that came through Mansoor.
Mansoor.
It's so, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So much talent that came through the Underdogs that it was, like I said, it was unfair.
Yeah.
It was unfair for anybody to say we want to go up against that because there was just too many. It was really a factory.
It was a big ass hub.
Yeah.
It was really a factory of really talented guys
Just sharpening each other.
Yeah.
I feel like I got I left there so much better.
1,500 nothing.
Yeah.
They originally came through Tyrese, but they dabbled in it. They came through them that third,
That same-
What was it? Third floor.
Third floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Edmonds, it was third floor.
Third
yeah.
floor. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
What was your first placement?
It was on Jennifer Hudson.
Ooh, that's what you started?
first kickoff.
Yeah. And that was the Grammy.
The Grammy.
That shit was crazy.
That album won a Grammy.
Pew.
You were on that album.
Yeah. I'm on that album. I didn't actually get, I got a certificate.
Yeah.
They played us.
They did.
Man, fuck all that.
Yeah.
got
They need to
Grammys.
change them. Yeah.
But it's only for our music.
They're working toward it. They're working toward it.
Only for R&B.
They're working toward it.
How
They're working
crazy is
toward it.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we about
No,
to tap
there
into
are
this.
there are some draconian standards in
Talk
this
about it.
business
Talk about
that
it.
obviously we all need to tap on and we all need to bring attention to, and that is one.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is that if you're a part of a body of work
Why would you not?
that does something that special,
Mm-hmm.
same reason why if an album goes platinum, it don't matter if you wrote the liner
Everybody
notes
get
for
the
that
plaque.
motherfucker.
You get a plaque.
yeah.
Get a plaque.
Yeah.
Give us some of that goddamn hardware.
Please.
Period.
right? Because I don't have a Grammy.
We need to retroactively.
I've drank Hennessy out of a Grammy. Have you?
I don't like your tone.
But yeah, I was on some bullshit. I drank Hennessy out of somebody's Grammy. I was like, oh, you got a Grammy?
You just
pull up.
Pull up.
I ain't got one. I'm about to disrespect yours.
We need to go. They need to give us a Grammy for that.
They do. I mean,
They need to change the rule right now.
Get your picket sign.
Today.
Go get you a picket sign.
No, I'm gonna just call the boss. Hey man.
Hey.
Hey man.
Hey,
Hey
man.
buddy.
Hey buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey buddy.
Hey buddy.
Hey buddy.
I think we have a legitimate gripe here.
I mean, I feel, especially because don't you have to, I mean, I could be wrong, but don't you have to pay for your own trophies and shit anyway? Or do they give it to you?
I don't have one, so I don't know. I
you know
thought
what?
they give it to
Let
you.
me not act like I know.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
No,
I mean-
I didn't pay for my certificate, but
I paid
that's
for
just
mine.
paper.
You
I
paid
don't
for
know.
your certificate?
Sure did.
I didn't pay for mine.
So I guess things aren't all created equal, huh?
Wow. But I produced
There you
and
go.
wrote. I produced and wrote.
Well, then
so
maybe
is it because I was a producer that I got
Which is another
Which is
conversation.
also
It's
why
another
things aren't
conversation.
created
We're getting ready to
equal.
get to that. What was the biggest song you wrote?
Replay on Zendaya.
Come on, Zendaya.
Oh,
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Zendaya pulling up to the studio.
Zendaya pulled
Her and her
up.
mama.
Yeah.
Zendaya pulled up to Zoe's birthday party.
She did.
She was a day early, but
Shout out to Zendaya.
Zendaya
Yeah,
pulled
Zendaya's
up.
amazing.
I remember that.
Always
I remember that.
been super, super cool. I used to
And
sit,
she from the back.
sit and talk with her dad, and I mean, just
Yeah.
done the right way.
Yes.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
Really awesome to see. That's okay. Oh,
Yeah, I'm grateful to be a little teeny tiny part of
Come on,
her
get
story.
your replay on.
Get your
Yeah.
replay
Get your
on.
replay on.
And let's talk. You found a voice.
Yeah, because you hit on the fact that I wasn't that. Your ass can sing.
Now, I couldn't sing then. Like
Or was it confidence?
Well,
Yeah.
and it was confidence, but also like I think there's a really big difference between studio singers and live singers. So I didn't come up singing, right? So, and I learned how to sing in the studio. I learned how to sing through auto-tune and reverb and all these things. It's like singing with makeup on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not you know what I mean? Like it, and I feel like it's like,
So should I start telling niggas they got too much makeup on?
for real. Yeah, it's like makeup. It's like
You got too much makeup.
It's covering
on.
up. It's covering up. Like I feel like autotune specifically, right? I feel like can really cover up the character in somebody's voice. Like you can really miss like, trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
You can really miss and like so. It took me a long time. On top of the fact that I used to have people tell me I couldn't sing, right? So like, in the
Like flat out, like you can't.
yeah, like why are you singing this demo? Like what are you doing?
Huh.
Yeah, it was rough in the beginning. Like I definitely had like people discourage me about singing. And so I was never like
Confident about it.
no, like I didn't. And you know what? I remember this one time, I don't even know if she would ever remember this, but I remember I saw Brandy at the Underdogs. I ran into her in the kitchen. And she was like, "Do you sing?" And I was like, you know how when you like,
Yeah, because you're talking to the vocal
I was
Bible. You're talking to the vocal
Right,
Bible.
I'm like-
You gotta answer that correctly.
I'm like, and also I just didn't believe in myself. If she asked me that today, I'd be like, yeah. But like, do you sing? And I was just like, well, I'm giving her all my disclaimers and shit. And then she just told me about like, she told me something about like, not being confident in her voice, like, when she was younger, or like just giving me like, I felt that same way too. And I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Like, you're Brandy. Like,
yeah.
how could you feel like that? Your fucking voice is perfection. What do you mean? And so I feel like that was something that really stuck with me. Like, I just was like, any time that I wasn't feeling confident, like, I will always remind myself, like, the people who are the greatest singers of all time feel the same nerves that I feel doing this, because singing is vulnerable.
For sure.
It's so vulnerable. And so... yeah, like it took me a long time to build up to I have a voice. You know what I mean? Like to be confident enough to be like, I'm gonna sing the songs, or I want to be an artist, or I want to, yeah,
You get your projects going.
yeah. get my projects going.
So when you come here,
Yeah.
you work with the Underdogs.
Yep.
Strictly a songwriter. That's all you, in your mind, you're like, I'm going to be a songwriter.
Yes.
So next step is publishing.
Yes.
Because that's what kicks in for songwriters.
Yeah.
That is our record deal.
Yep.
That's a certain type of record deal for in
yeah.
Because most people just look at it like, oh, in the music business, did you get a record deal?
Right.
Well, if you're a songwriter, you don't get a record deal.
You get a publishing deal.
You get a publishing
Especially
deal.
then.
Yeah, which is equivalent to having a record deal because the publishers help shop your songs. Are they supposed to? You niggas be bullshitting.
I also feel like it's like a stamp of approval, low-key. Like
But
it
that's
validates
really
your
what it is.
talent.
Is that too?
Yeah. And not all of them be bullshitting, but some. Just the same thing as when the artist gets signed and the A&R is not good.
Right.
Same type of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have that within the industry altogether. But those are that is the I'm a professional
Yeah.
for a songwriter. So how long does it take you to get a deal to where you're being paid to be a songwriter?
So I got a deal. So I moved to LA when I was 20. I did my deal when I was 21.
Okay. So it's a year.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, that's quick.
Yeah, it was fast. It was like I came to LA and me and Stephen Russell did the song for Jennifer Hudson called Invisible. And it got placed rather quickly. And so it was just kind of like fast. And I like full transparency. So, okay, my experience with the Underdogs was also different because I was the only female songwriter up there. So I was like surrounded by men constantly, right? So like I feel like to your point about what you said earlier before we started filming when you were like, just talking about the differences as far as like how women and men respond to stuff, right? Like I think I was a young girl trying to navigate in a completely male world. And so, and I also obviously am outspoken, right? So I always was outspoken. So, things weren't agreeable rather quickly. On top of the fact that I wasn't writing like that. So I got thrown out the studio. People got kicked me out, all kind of shit, right? So I started to...
So you didn't have any studio etiquette in the beginning?
No. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing.
What were you doing to get kicked out of the studio? So that people that are watching can know how to get kicked out the fucking studio.
They had a whole meeting about kicking me out. Like, if you see Tiffany, don't let her. Shout out to Stephen Russell because he let me up when nobody else let me. He's like, come on, Tiff. Like, I got you. And then me and him wrote that record, and then I was allowed on the third floor again.
He was back on the third floor.
I was back on the third floor.
What got you kicked off?
I wasn't writing. I was just like,
I was just there.
I was there. They were just like, she being fucking weird. Like, what is she doing?
She's being weird.
Right. She's just pulling up.
And I didn't know.
Right.
Just like,
you gotta at least be bringing like fresh white tees.
Like, what are you doing?
Some socks and some oranges, like help me.
Right, like what are you doing? Yeah, like I just was frozen. I was just stuck. Like, and then also, like I said, I was the only girl. So me being frozen and stuck, like in retrospect, I'm grown now, so I could look at that and see like there was no one around me that I could be like, girl, like so I couldn't do that. Like, and so I just was kind of like. And they were like, I mean, I guess they had the meeting. He said, get her the fuck out of here. And so I would, do y'all remember the security guard, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike was like, he wouldn't let nobody upstairs. It didn't matter how famous you were. He was like, sorry, you're not on the list.
That was because of some other shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure.
Stuff was going on.
Right, well.
There's people waiting in the parking lot for people and shit. So yeah, it's different.
I watched him deny some big ass artist like, damn, you're not gonna let him up. He's like, sorry, you're not on the list. So of course I wasn't on the list. So I come to the studio. They're like, unfortunately, Tiffany, we can't let you upstairs. And I'm like, damn, you know.
It's an interesting part of that too, though. Tank and I were also buffers for artists. Because
so y'all were like my Steve, same thing. Like how he was like buffer.
Not even just that.
Yeah.
Because in the earlier days, the studios were getting overbooked.
Okay.
So there would be artists just sitting Literally sitting in the lobby, literally
Like the
sitting in a
doctor's
room.
office.
Yeah.
But
Like the
worse.
doctor's office.
But worse.
Yeah.
Because you
Waiting
might
to-
be in there for hours.
Waiting to get you a song.
Waiting to get a song. Waiting to even get in concert with someone.
Yes.
That's what we need that back.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, okay. For me, I'm a person that values time.
Okay. I'm just saying that
No,
level
I-
of like
I- that
respect
level, you
for the
gotta-
song.
For sure. But like I said, I value time.
Yeah.
Like I like people to be on time. I like to be on time.
Same. Yeah.
So I don't like to have somebody waiting. So Tank and I, we would literally go entertain our peers.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I would go in there and make niggas shoot dice and
And
shit
gamble.
on the pool table. I'd be in there gambling. I had the shit lit. Fully lit.
I'd be
In
like,
the
well,
lobby?
fully lit.
no,
You said on the pool table?
Pool table.
Full lit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
Fully.
just don't. Okay.
Like fully gambling. I didn't
gamble
turn
with
it.
Jay.
I used to turn that motherfucker
Don't
up.
gamble with
right?
Jay.
And I think obviously by the time you got there,
Or we play Halo.
It was our
Halo.
Would be in there. Yeah,
Yeah, I
would be
remember
12
that.
TVs lined up.
Oh my God.
Everybody playing Halo. But
Yup.
we were entertaining things, and it was just kind of done a little different. So I understand that too, where it was like you might have saw artists because they didn't have the space and time.
Oh yeah.
Because it was
it was a
everybody named Mama
factory.
was trying to get an underdog
yeah,
record.
yeah. Yeah, it was a factory.
They were trying to get an underdog record. It was a very hot commodity. So I understand it. But you being put on the don't
the do
let
not
up.
let up list.
Yeah, because you had to take an elevator. If you can't get on that
If you
elevator,
can't get, you got that fob.
you fucked.
Yeah.
Bob.
You had that little fob.
Yeah, you fucked. You
Remember
fucked.
5
Yeah.
days.
So Steve Russell,
I
shout
call-
out to
shout out to
Steve Russell
Steve.
Shout out to my
Steve.
Nesty.
Yes.
for sneaking you back
Sneaks me. He just was like, don't let
on the third floor and
He's
getting you a Grammy.
and get me a Grammy.
Wow.
This is how
Sneaking
this shit
you
works.
on the floor to
And
get
my
you a
dad
Grammy.
loved Troop. My dad loved Troop. So I was like, Dad, I'm working with Steven Russell. He's like, what?
Yeah.
That's
This is
crazy.
but this is how the music business works.
Yeah.
It's all about seizing the opportunity.
Yeah.
And about the pull up.
And persistence.
Everybody's not persistence sometimes goes against you.
It de-
Persistence can make a nigga be like, yo, dog, like I'm that. But the pull up is very important, meaning when someone grabs back.
Yeah.
Because Steve did not have to do that.
Oh, no,
for
he
you.
didn't have to do that, no.
He could have wrote that record by himself.
Yep.
Or with another writer that was there. Maybe it's not the same song.
Yeah.
But
it could have, right. He didn't have to do that.
he did not have to do that. And that is something to me
Yeah.
that is very important and that I pray and hope that more of us do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's important.
When we identify talent.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it for everybody.
Yeah, no.
Can't do it for every nigga that's jumping
Right.
your DM talking about I got a hit for you.
Yeah.
That's different. Like,
I think
bro,
he saw that I just kept showing up. Like, he was just like, clearly something is going on.
right,
You know what
but
I mean?
You just couldn't write shit.
Well, because I was scared. You know what I think it was too? I was scared to sing. I was scared to sing because I just had people telling me I couldn't sing.
Yeah.
So that it was like, and I'm around all these amazing Luke
Like,
and
everybody
fucking
in there could sing. Yeah.
Luke would just be walking through the halls, just
Yeah.
fucking doing all these runs and shit. I would be like,
Fauntleroy, Luke, Eric Dawkins,
I was like, I
Steven
can't.
Russell.
I
Like,
can't
this-
do that.
yeah,
like I was just
yeah.
like, I can't do that, so I'm not gonna do nothing. I got all these.
I ain't gonna do
I
nothing.
got all these lyrics and melodies. I had the whole song in my head, but I was
And
like,
poetry wasn't enough in there.
The poetry.
it wasn't enough. It wasn't.
Poetry
The
wasn't enough in there.
No,
you
because
can't
you had
just
to
come
go.
in there on some Def Comedy, Def
Nah,
Poetry
Def
Jam.
Poetry
Poetry
Jam.
Jam. No, they was like jump in the booth. That's why I was just like,
Let's get these melodies going.
Because how do
Let's
those
go.
lyrics sound?
Yeah.
yeah, and I was
Not
like,
how do they read?
yeah, it was rough. It was rough in the beginning, but I mean, I figured it out quick because I wanted to do it though. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just figure out how
So
to.
once you got that record, you on the roll.
So I got that record, and then like I started bumping heads with some folks up there, and so I just started to do my own thing. I had like
kicked you out, then you came back and bumped heads.
no, I mean I just feel like it was after I got kicked out, I did the record, and then I signed to them.
Okay.
And then we started bumping heads when we
Okay.
started doing business.
Okay.
And so, or no, wait, hold on. Let me backtrack. So before I signed to them, when I was up there, people like Brian Kennedy were there, and like who else was there? T Wiz was there.
My young brother, both of them.
Yeah, and so like that was where I like met some of my first like friends in music. And so once I started making friends in music, I just started working. Like I had worked with
Now you're going to different studios.
Yeah, I was going to different studios. Then I started going to Atlanta. Polo hit me on MySpace like, yo, you want to work? I was like,
that's your Polo voice.
Yeah.
Give him the Polo. Yo, you want to work? Give the Polo voice.
You want to work?
Yeah. Yo, you want yeah. So he's like, yo, you want? And so I was like, yes. What? It's 2007. Polo hit you, nigga. What?
Cracking.
Fucking,
Yeah.
What? Yes, I'm trying to get a record on Pussycat Dolls. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So yeah, then I went out there, and that was the first time I worked with Hit Boy and Chase. You know, so I like by the time I did my deal, I was like all over the place, just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Cause I mean, full transparency, I knew they didn't fuck with me. Like, you know what I mean? I knew they didn't fuck with me, and so it was like I didn't want to be somewhere where they didn't want to fuck with me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, they kicked me out the studio. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to keep doing this. This was an incredible opportunity. I learned a whole bunch of shit and I just started working. But when I was in Atlanta working, Touch called me and was like, yo, they want to sign you. And I was on my like, no, now they want to fuck with me.
Right.
You know,
you were
like
being emotional.
No, I wasn't being emotional.
No, you were.
I meant that.
As your friend, I'm telling you this.
Okay.
You were being emotional. No, because in this business, sometimes we move with our emotions instead of our business mind. Right? We do.
Sure.
This is a very real thing.
Go ahead.
Because when you no, because I'm assessing it because I never knew what your situation was, but I'm assessing it from the outside.
I got to give you the rest of the tea before you assess that.
No. It's quick. It's quick.
Okay.
Because I want this to be something that younger generations of writers, of artists, they understand what they're getting into and what's going on. And in your position at that time, you didn't fully know what was going on.
No.
And you couldn't fully look at it through a glass lens and say, oh, okay, now I showed my worth.
Well, but so here's the other thing. I had other deals on the table that were better.
Of course you did.
And so
it came from.
I know. Well, and so I was in that position and it was like, that was the tone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh my God, I don't want to fucking, you know.
Which is a valid tone.
Sure.
No, not just sure. No, it's a valid, because you gotta look at this as a business. Gotta look at it as a business. No. You can listen. You're here because I want you to tell your story.
I know.
But I want you to hear out all sides of it. And I want people to hear out all sides of how our business works.
Yeah.
Like music is one thing. There's the nigga that works his 9-to-5 shift and just does music for the love.
Well, we could have did a deal for just the rec. Like I hear you, but
you could've.
But
sure.
I wasn't. But I couldn't though. Is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like I didn't have options. Like I wasn't. I was 21. These were a bunch of grown ass men.
You're grown at 21.
But I was.
No.
I'm not saying that you're not grown. I'm just saying that these was a bunch of grown ass men talking to me like grown ass men, and I was a 21-year-old woman. I'm not a man, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm being talked to like a man, even though I'm not a man.
Okay. Fair.
And like I just felt like, you know, because I knew they didn't fuck with me, I didn't want to do the deal because I knew they didn't fuck with me. It wasn't even about like I didn't care about the money. Like I didn't care about what? Like that was my dream. I came to LA to work with the Underdogs.
To work with them.
You know, it wasn't about that, but it was like I knew what it really was. And so I was just like, man, I don't want to, like, that's not what I wanted. I ended up doing it because I felt that pressure of like, you know, I don't want it to come off like I just came, you know, worked with y'all for a year, did all this shit, met all these people and dipped. I understand the business, right. You know what I mean? But the emotional side comes from, I mean, we just didn't have a good relationship. So I didn't want to do the deal because we didn't like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be signed to somebody that I knew fucked with me for real. Like, and I just felt like I was getting signed because I got a placement.
Because you got a placement.
Yeah, which I understand from a business perspective, sure. But I wasn't a great writer when I got that placement yet. The reason why I came there was because they were a production team, right? So it was like, I was going to be able to learn and collaborate and work with and do all the things, you know.
And in your opinion, for you personally.
Yeah.
Do all those things hold weight? What you went and learned, what you know what I mean, eventually to that, like you can look at it like your deal wasn't in favor of you. Mm-hmm. Right.
And by the way, the deal wasn't bad.
Right, but you know, our first deals,
it wasn't terrible. But I just want to say though,
really
to be clear though, my deal wasn't bad. Okay. It wasn't a bad publishing deal. It was a proper deal for the time and for where I was at in my career. Yeah.
And because I'm using your experience as a teaching moment. Because sometimes people will look at it, and I'm glad you said that. Like, no, my deal wasn't.
No, it wasn't
this
bad.
And that and the other. It wasn't bad.
No.
Because sometimes what happens is when we get success, we forget
how we got there.
And this is something that runs rampant in our business.
For sure.
I've watched it happen so many times where me, on the other hand, I usually will give up more. So somebody will never have that conversation about me. Mm-hmm. I've taken less. Mm-hmm. But that's not really my obligation.
No,
it's just who I am and what I've chosen to do so that I'm not in those type of conversations.
Yeah.
But I usually take less or sometimes nothing at all. But what I find is that there are creatives, because, you know, artists falls under the creatives get that success and they just don't remember what else went into that success of someone giving them that opportunity, of somebody teaching them, of somebody putting them in that room.
Hell yeah.
That is very important when it goes into they took my.
Yeah. And, well, see, that's not my story.
No, but that's what. But
my story isn't that anything was.
But you're the first songwriter, purely songwriter that we've had on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you came to this business.
This is what I came to do.
Now you end up being a singer. You end up doing more things, but
that was
your
the goal.
profession was songwriter.
Yeah.
So that's why I want us to have more conversation about that process.
Yeah.
And just about people who are creatives understanding, like, listen, man, like, yeah, the split is what his split is. But do you know why that split is what it is? You know, I just, you know, when people are like, you know, the artist shall remain nameless, but, this artist takes 25%. Well, that artist, their artistry earned them more publishing on that song. Or maybe earned them publishing on a song that they actually did not write because of what they're going to do to it. And what it's going to probably change your life.
That song.
After I worked on NSYNC, everybody and their mama
was going to change your life. It don't change your life no more.
It changed mine.
NSYNC.
If you get a Drake placement, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. If you get a Beyonce placement. If you get a
single.
Okay. Well, no. I'm about to break down why it's even bigger than the single.
Absolutely.
Because now you're part of a conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Which will get you in a room that can lead you to.
But what I'm saying though,
I think both of you guys are saying the same thing. What I think comes from being a part of whatever a Beyonce or a Drake process is the conversation right in the room. What leading to what she's saying is that in 2020 or even up to maybe 2007, where it was still speculative, that conversation could lead to a greater gain, a life-changing gain.
You could really change.
But now, it's such an analytical conversation.
Yeah, and it's such a political conversation. And then also, like, you can get a Beyonce cut or a Drake cut, but you could have 2% of that cut, right? And then it might lead you to Justin Bieber, and then you get 2% on a Justin Bieber cut. It's still leading to the same roadblocks.
Who's getting 2%?
I've never gotten 2%.
Hey, do you see how many writers are on these songs? How much publishing do you think is?
But I've never gotten 2%. I don't even understand.
People are out here getting little pieces of publishing, if the splits are even done at all, right? And so, like, I agree with you, but I think that model, it doesn't work anymore because it's not enough. There's plenty of money, right? But it's not in. Majority of it is not in publishing. It just isn't. It's in the sound recording. It's in live shows and merch and all these other things. And because these artists are taking 25, 30, whatever they're taking, plus samples and whatever, there's this little teeny tiny piece that's left. And for everybody else to split, it gets you into another room. But then that's about whether you're good at other shit, like marketing yourself, branding, networking. That don't have nothing to do with being a good songwriter or being a good producer. Now you got to know what to do with a hit. Like when I had Replay, what I would do with Replay now versus what I did with Replay then is two totally different things. Because I didn't know like, oh, I should have maybe hired a publicist at that point. Maybe I should.
I know writers who have.
I do too. And it's like, I talk to writers in the community all the time. They're like, yo, Tiff, I don't got this and I don't got that. And I'm like, you have to pay. If you want a billboard, you need to call the billboard company and you need to pay for that shit. Absolutely. And I'm like, because all the shit you see is people's own money they spent on themselves, right? Like, but you don't, it's not like there's a whole bunch of, that knowledge is not readily available. You know what I mean? Or it wasn't, not when I was coming up, and so like, I don't know. I don't think that unless things change, which is what I'm obviously advocating for, right? Unless things change when it comes to what other royalty streams songwriters are included in, publishing isn't going to be enough long term anymore because it's too oversaturated. Everybody got publishing. So like while you get while it might be a big deal for you to get a Beyonce placement, it's about to lead you to another place where you can only get publishing. So if you can only get publishing and you can only get 10%, 15%, because we playing politics.
But here we are with that. Yeah. If you're playing politics, and maybe you got a lesser percentage, but a bigger cachet off of working with a certain artist, the next rooms you should walk into and this is on the writer. Because I'm a songwriter. At the heart of me, songwriter. This is what I also came out here for. I didn't come out here to sing. I didn't come out here to manage. I didn't come out here to be fucking talking head podcaster. Came out here to write songs for people. And I can only give my own experiences. Yeah. And I can give my successes and my failures and how I moved within this business and how I see fit that writers should move. There are certain business moves you should make that will put you in an advantageous place on your next go round. Agreed. Now, if yo dumb ass, and I said dumb ass because I want you to feel like a dumbass, if you let that shit happen to you multiple times. Yeah. Then it's your fault. Your fault. Yeah. Right? And I can't hear this writer gripe about the fifth time. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I'm the same way. Don't come to me. And we hear it. Oh, for sure. The fifth time. And I'm like, wait, but you know why though? Because of industry standards. Ain't no industry standards. Yes, there are. It's not. Not anymore. It's not. We broke them shits down. They're industry standards because it's still implanted in our minds. Now, there are numbers that are just what they are right now. But that's what I'm saying. So you don't have any control over people, right? So like if a writer goes into the studio and they don't have the politics in their favor, whether it be the relationship with the managers, the artist, the whoever, like I'm just telling you from being an advocate, right? Like I feel like the music industry is fucking therapist, right? Like I got DMs of Tiff, this happened and this a massive artist. Mm-hmm. Big records. No, it doesn't matter. That part don't matter, right? And what I'm saying though is that it's not just how we try to do business, because if the business is not received, like us doing, like for instance, like I don't write songs for anybody anymore because I'm not writing for free, right? I'm not showing up nowhere for free. Your time is your time. Yeah. Yes, and my rate is my rate. It's Absolutely. My decision, right? Yes. So my rate is $15,000. Mm-hmm. If you want me to write a record, it's $15,000. Hold on, let me. I'm rolling with that. Thank you. I'm rolling with that. Because I was getting ready to, I was trying to figure out a way to get into that conversation. You wasn't getting no free Sean Garrett records? Nope. You're not getting no free Rico Love records? You're not getting free nothing. No, you're not getting free anything. Nothing in this life is free. Nothing, right? And so the thing that I be trying to get people to understand in the music business, because it's like we always like our deal in the 1%ers. There's a massive middle class in the music business that's writing all the album cuts, not the singles. They write in the album cuts, and they are not respected or given the same
leverage to negotiate the things that we're talking about. Like it's easier for a bigger songwriter with more leverage because that, and your leverage, like I'm going through this right now, right? Like I feel like my advocacy is taking me places that I never thought I would go, right? And so I'm lit, but I'm lit for what I'm doing. So my profile is raised because I'm in the press and I'm into this and I'm into that. Not because I write great songs. So when I walk into the room now, all the other shit I do walk into the room with me. So these big ass songwriters and big ass producers, they got their radio interviews walking in with them. They got their relationship with the music exec, that whoever. That's how you're getting money. You're not getting money because of your song. You're getting money because of who you are and what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that, because that don't have shit to do with being a songwriter. Everything I just said don't have nothing to do with being a songwriter. And it doesn't.
You have to.
Yeah.
It didn't, or it didn't.
You have to entertain. This is the entertainment business, music business, but it's also entertainment.
I'm talking about, but
every aspect of this business is entertainment, especially now with social media, especially now with, the way that the algorithms work to make somebody even pay attention to little old me or you or whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
It's a bigger game than it used to be from that standpoint. Like now you have to put more. You can't just be one singular thing. You just can't be that great songwriter. You also have to have a personality to get to.
Well, here's a question. Here's a question I want to ask, and that I think you can help answer as well.
For sure.
How do we get to a place to where there is a standard for songwriters to show up? Because with a producer, you're always going to negotiate a fee, whether he's just starting out or whether there's always a production.
Which is
fee.
what I'm trying to get. Yeah. Which is what. So we've been, the 100%ers have been working with Sony Music Publishing. We've been working really closely with Big John. And
let's shout out all the people that are behind that with you, like your board of advisors.
My board of advisors.
Like let's, because those are very important people.
Okay, so our two associate directors, their names are Maria Lyons and Rosemary Tan, and then and that's like Rosemary Tan, and then a guy named Gamaro. That's our executive team, and then there's me. I'm the executive director, and we're the brains behind, the machine behind the 100%ers. And then we have like a whole bunch of different volunteers. We have, a little crew, Blush, Micah, a guy named Zach Poor, really, really dope songwriters, a girl named Cadence. And yeah, we just and then also I kind of feel like our following is a bit like an extended kind of thing, because a lot of the stuff that I post and talk about and stuff like that, they be sending me all kind of yo, you seen this? You seen I don't even gotta look for shit anymore. They just be DMing me stuff, and but yeah, so that's our team, and then we have other organizations that we work closely with. One of them is Sona. Another one is NMPA. Do you know what NMPA is?
No.
Okay, so
put us on.
So NMPA is the National Music Publishing Association. So they're the trade association that represents all of our publishing companies. So their board of directors is Big John, Jody, all the CEOs of all of the head of the publishing companies, right? And so we work closely with them. And I work with the U.S. Copyright Office. And I've been focused on from the outside, I'm sure it probably looks like I'm just online talking shit all the time. Gosh, she just always complaining. She just always, but most of my Instagram and all of that is my megaphone. If I'm talking about something, I'm usually talking to someone, and it's usually about something that I'm trying to get done. So if I'm advocating about something, it's because I'm talking to that record label or publishing company or person's team, and I use it as a tool, you know what I mean? And as a way to get to people sometimes as well. And so what we've been doing in this last year is having the conversations like with the publishing companies. So we, we're working with Sony. I just had a really great meeting with Warner Chappell 2 days ago. And we are having these real conversations like, look, like this is the reality for songwriters. Like, and so because so many people feel like they're not supposed to talk about any of this stuff, like people don't know what's going on with their writers for real. And then also I feel like people get in the room with people like Big John and be like, oh shit, like
freeze up.
Yeah, like where I'm so grateful for my relationship with John because like
amazing human.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Amazing human.
Absolutely.
So dope, right?
Amazing.
He just like I don't know. I like so many people I know that are like, man, Big John helped me with this. He helped me with that. Like, and I got the same story. And me and Big John didn't start, like, I started beefing with him on the internet. Like, that's how we, for real. I called him out on the internet and he was like, who is this girl? Like, but he was the first person that was like, what is this about? Like, right. What is this about? And he brought me out here to LA, brought my whole team in, and I sat down in one of their like conference rooms, and I just was like, this is the truth. Like, this is the truth. Like, I don't have anything to lose anymore. I don't even care about this shit. I don't write songs no more. I don't even live here no more. So I just was like, I bare my soul. And he just hurt us like in a way that I just didn't expect. And so I got the opportunity to, or I've been given the opportunity to help with modernizing all of this stuff. So these are all conversations that we're having with the publishing companies, and we're putting together plans. Like, I don't want to just be out here talking shit. We're putting together solutions, like the solutions that, like, for instance, we're working on something called session fees for songwriters and producers. So if we go do a session for Tank, whether Tank takes the record or not, our money isn't attached to the song. Our money is attached to the session. Same way like an engineer.
You go to work.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think we've all been talking about we need more money, but I think no one's ever really sat down and like put it. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, this doesn't have to be big money. It doesn't have to be for it to be a livable wage. So the livable wage, I think currently in California is $58,000 a year. I'm like, can we get, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, but if it was on a scale based on a $58,000 a year salary,
we talking $500 a day or something.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's not like you're going to be working every day. It's not like you may not even get to that $58,000. But if there's
if you're getting paid something,
if there's just a rate scale,
yes,
mm-hmm. that just says, if I'm in this room, it's a working
So is this for every writer?
So this
is there a governing body they have to come through?
It would be.
Is there a players association?
It would be based on a label. It would be based on a label. So like, if what we're asking for is if a songwriter and a producer are working with a signed artist, they should be getting paid.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, absolutely. They should be getting paid.
But what I'm asking is, because in some of these situations there are writers that just end up at the session. Yeah. Like, how do you?
Well,
engineer's an engineer.
This is going to help. I think one of the things that I think the session fee program is going to do is help with quality control. Because think about, so this is, I can't like, I will tell y'all like more of the setup after this because I can't talk about the whole setup. But if we knew that there was some set amount of money for a session, would you let all your niggas pull up? Or would you control?
We've always controlled our
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway,
so what I'm saying is that it would control itself because the less people that are in a room, the more money you making is how we're setting it up. So that it's like, you don't
think it should be whoever's signed on to be a part of the session versus the amount?
Well, so,
you know what I'm saying? Because if the scale is the same for every writer that's in the room, no one's money is more. It's just that we are just the only people assigned to write this record.
Yes. Well, and it just being way more communication between artists, management, record label.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
the other thing that we're trying to solve with all of this stuff is like admin. right? Because the admin is
terrible.
It's fucking ridiculous, right? And so if there was more quality control, if there was more communication from the time the session is scheduled before the song's even written, we already know who's in the room. So when we trying to do splits, who was in the room? I can tell because this is who we paid. Yeah. This is who we paid. Mm-hmm. So this is the writers, this is the producers, this is their contact information because we got them as a vendor in our system or whatever. You know what I mean?
The other problem we have in urban music is those split sheets not being done the day of session. Chasing somebody down to ask them how many the and these and why on the song. And I wrote
it's crazy
that one section before the and I said that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
But people don't know how to negotiate business. Talking numbers is for some people intimidating. And so I think, especially like, people be getting in fights over splits, right?
They'd rather steal behind your back, not necessarily in front of you.
Right. Like, they're not going to tell you, I'm about to, like, I feel like I should have 30.
I feel like I should have 85%.
Yeah. They're not going to say that in the session. That's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But my thing is, our goal is more so on, like, I can't tell y'all how to do your business. I just want to provide a better way for you to do it. And if you choose to do it that way, lit. If not, if you take some of these solutions and flip it and do it your own way, because we're independent contractors, so nobody can, all of these things will look different, but I'm trying to create a floor. Like, if you were a teacher, you're not about to start making nothing. You're going to start as an entry-level teacher.
Absolutely.
There should be an entry-level songwriter, entry-level producer, you know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be making nothing because people are paying to work. Like, I talk to people that are like, I got to get a babysitter. Gas is $1 million fucking dollars. All the things to just shoot your shot.
It's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job.
No, it's a job.
I paid to work.
Yeah.
I paid to work too.
My initial into this thing as an adult, like, I paid to work. Like, I paid whatever dues I had to pay to get into it, and how many sessions I had to go to that didn't turn out to be anything.
Imagine if you got paid for all those sessions.
I might not have been as hungry. And this is just me. Because what I also find in our new industry is a lack of hunger. Not with everyone, but with a lot. Where the struggle is just different. The struggle is different because it's way easier to hit the lottery these days than it used to be because the gatekeepers been pushed out the way a little bit. The gates have been pushed over to a certain degree where somebody can make a hit record off their couch and upload it. So I think sometimes some of the bystanders and the audience just sees it as, man, we should be lit from the beginning.
Yeah.
And they forget what goes into this shit, and they forget, or they don't even know. Forget. Yeah. They don't even know
from the very beginning
that, J Valentine slept on the floor for 9 months. The floor. So,
but do you feel like you should have to sleep on the floor to
No, you don't.
Because
you
I
shouldn't.
think because
you
I think that the level of hunger that exists or doesn't exist, I think, that's gonna always be there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Because I also believe that you should have a job while you're working toward an actual deal.
But I think of it like this.
I think you should work.
If there is a entry level, if there's an entry level pay, let's say entry level pay is $150 a session. It's just hypothetically.
Yeah.
And you see guys who are making $15,000 a session. Well, that within itself is going to create.
I want that.
I need that because off of that $150, you can eat and get your Ubers, but it ain't changing your life yet.
But it's enough for you.
But it's enough for you
to do what you need to do.
To just do that. To hone in on I think we came up, all of us, yes, we came up in an era where we had to figure out how to be great in spite of.
Yes.
No matter what the conditions were. Like we're like the last of the Mohicans of that space. We weren't given shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. We had you on the floor.
On the floor. I was on the
sleeping
floor
in the car.
too.
Like we was
Same.
But I think some of the advantage in giving writers an opportunity to live and work as writers is the developmental process.
Yep.
Because it's like
So it's paid internship.
in a sense. Because it's like your son right now in basketball. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you went to some camps or what have you, but had you had the opportunity to develop the way Deuce is developing, you're an NBA basketball player.
I'm different, yeah. I get opportunity, at least, yeah. I get opportunity
Definitely.
at something.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're asking me, you're an NBA basketball player. With being able to just focus on playing basketball. You know, and I think we're moving into a space, or the blessing into moving into a space like that, where writers can just write and focus on writing. I think we get to a space where we get the best out of people, because I didn't start making my best music until I was not under duress making it.
Oh my God, same. Where you're
I didn't get my best music until we
you weren't
having
suffering.
fun.
Yes.
Until we
I
was
feel like
just
there's
like,
so
when
much.
we said, let's do it our way.
Yes.
Fuck everything. Fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much suffering. Like one of the sayings that drive me crazy is a starving artist, because that's the epitome. Like it's the problem with the music. The music business is earning more money than it's ever made historically.
Absolutely.
Right? So like for there to be starving artists is ridiculous. And I'm speaking only for like I always say, like, God bless the up and comings, God bless independent artists, because I'm an independent artist. But that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that are writing these songs that we TikToking to.
Yeah.
Them, because they're the people who are hitting me. We have a grant that's about to open in October. It's called the Songwriter Stimulus Grant. And my goal is to give out $100,000. The grants are $2,500 a piece. Songwriters only. You have to make under $100,000 a year. Yeah, sorry. R&B money. Got too much money. Got too much R&B money.
I guess we got to donate to the grant.
Yeah, you got to donate to the grant. But like the people that are hitting me are working songwriters. It's not these it's not them. It's us. Yeah. It's our folks that should not be struggling. People who got records.
Real credit.
Yes. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that's the part for me where it's like creating music is so amazing, right? But like the business does such an incredible job at exploiting people's ignorance. You know, like there's so many things we don't know. There's so much money that's hidden behind all of the splits and paperwork we don't do. Like one of the things we're pushing right now is I want to see artists, like record labels always want to push back on, you know, Tiffany, we not paying, whatever. Okay, fine. Make sure every songwriter that's singing background vocals is credited as a background vocalist so that we can have them registered, so that they can make their neighboring rights money.
Absolutely.
So that they can make their SAG-AFTRA money.
Absolutely.
But in order for that to happen, they have to be credited, right?
Gotta be credited.
But we deal with, like, I have people in our community that are really great singers. So you deal with, like, being a really great singer as a songwriter can be a gift and a curse, because if you can sing better than an artist, and if you can sing better than an artist, they don't want your name on that shit.
That too.
I don't want nobody to know you singing on my song.
Yeah.
I'm a singer.
Yeah.
But how I'm supposed, if my royalties are attached to my literal name, like they're like, Tiffany, we need their names attached to the record label copy.
Yeah.
So then that takes everybody working together, you know. And I think it's
what I find as a whole is education.
Well, and it's not just, it's education.
It has to start there, though.
Yeah.
And I think we overlook education in the music business so much because there's no formal anything to get in. So you're not held accountable. A nurse got to go to nursing school.
Yep.
A doctor got to go get his, I mean, like, and so on and so forth. A lawyer got to, I mean, it's tests and it's all these different things. But music is, Do I just like the music you make?
Yeah, I just
and
get
I
in where I
throw
fit
you
in.
in it.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that there's a business attached to it.
That's extremely complicated too.
That's extremely complicated. So to me, I think outside of what you're doing and with what you're doing, as far as I look at you as creating a governing body, even if you don't look at it that way.
Oh, that's absolutely how I look at it.
That's how I look at it.
I want to be the first music union.
And we need it.
Yeah.
But what we absolutely need as well is music education, business education.
So we're doing that as well. It's called 100U. We're collaborating with.
We gotta get it.
We're collaborating with all the publishers. We collaborating with UCLA. We're putting it together.
So in your opinion, though,
yes,
should new creatives have to go through it to get to these things?
To like on like you got to get a certificate or some kind of something to complete.
Kind of.
Well,
my
maybe
little cousin just
maybe to sign a deal. Maybe
went to DJ in school.
I was gonna say maybe to sign a deal. Maybe if it was like if you're gonna get signed to whatever publishing company or record company, it being like you need to go through this course. That being part of getting signed is being put. But that's everybody working together though, right? Because our ignorance makes a lot of money.
I think because the union ideas. I mean, Jay will tell you, I've been talking about this union
Let's talk
for years.
Let's talk.
But I think that the educational process, like, I don't know, it's hard to make it a prerequisite.
Because we're independent contractors.
Yeah, because not even only that, but because of you just being attractive as a creative and nothing else, right? But so, like how do you attach that necessity because they need it? But how do we require it? Like, how do we
in this shit? I believe.
But
I want niggas to start reading more than the one contract that has the events, or one page that has the events on the contract.
Yeah, but so here's the thing with that though. The thing is
should be forced.
Yeah, but if you're reading something and you don't know what it means, right?
But if you have if we have it set up where you can go to school for it or take a course in it.
But it's still like I still don't know how you force it.
You can't force it. I think that you just
in a
make
place
it
that is just a completely creative space.
I'm gonna still keep calling them dumbasses.
You can't. I don't think you force it. I just think you make it.
I
just make it more available. Exactly. You make it more available.
You know, and what happens is, huh?
You know what I learned in music business?
I learned the business get whooped over my head.
You're also a hustler and a businessman.
But I am creative than a motherfucker.
I know, but you're also you said earlier that you are on time.
Yes.
That is a trait of someone who's about their business.
So these same people who are late and he's getting paid late.
Facts.
I'm not making excuses for them. And to me, we run to excuses for creatives. They're just so creative.
No, we're not making excuses for them.
Listen. We have a soft spot in our business because of the gift. We all do. I do included. I have a soft spot for really creative people. But then there's a part of me that goes, yo, you gotta read. Once again, the name shall remain nameless. I've had to force people to read contracts. Like, yo, read this contract. Whatever you don't understand, write down so somebody can figure it out for you. You need to know what in perpetuity means.
Yeah.
Forever, motherfucker. Forever. You sign this, it's forever. And unless they're putting a gun in your head or forcing you to do it, ain't no other way out of this shit. So, before you sign this, you need to read it. You need to go grab a dictionary. I literally, myself, before Google, because I'm that old, went and bought a dictionary. And whatever I did not understand in that contract, I found it and I went to that dictionary, the book, not to the phone.
Jay, you're special. Everyone's not
That's not special.
Yes, it is.
That is not special.
And also, everyone learns the same. Everyone doesn't learn the same.
There's not a
making excuses.
There's not a. We're not making excuses. There's just not a way to make it a requirement. Everybody wants to excel.
I agree with you, by the way. I 1,000%
we're not having an argument. No,
everybody wants to excel on their own level. Everybody wants to understand on their own level.
So should we feel sorry when they get fucked in?
We're not saying feel sorry. We're not even at that space. What I'm saying is that or I think what we're all trying to say is that if it's more available,
yes,
like
then
no one knows where to go. All they know about are these books that are somewhere that, or maybe I'll type something in,
and maybe you don't read. Like you might have ADHD.
But if somebody can, if there are classes, if there are moments, if there are things available where you can actually go tap in. Like I can read a book, I can read, but the way I learn is.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody learns different, so I think we need to make. I think we need to make it available for how everyone learns. I agree with you. I love the looking up the words and all, because that's how you learn. But everybody learns different. Some people need to be taught. Some people excel with learning better that way. Some people don't like to read. Mm-hmm. I have people, I have a friend who is a songwriter who suffers from ADHD, and they tell me all the time, with the reading of the contracts and getting just so frustrated because I'm like, I can't figure this out. My brain won't let me do it, And so I think then the other thing too with the education piece is there's a lot of shame around not knowing. So our generation, we were taught you have a manager, a lawyer, an accountant, a business manager, every fucking thing, right? Mm-hmm. And you just write songs. You be creative. That's what people say. They tell me that shit all the time. Right. You just go write the song. I was never encouraged to learn all this shit. Yeah. So now
we're encouraging.
That's why I'm so passionate about educating our current songwriters, because that's the generation who was taught not to learn anything. And so now you've got, I had a conversation with a publisher recently, and they were like, they need financial literacy. And I was like, oh, is that what you guys are offering?
Right.
Oh, no. So then what are you talking about? Because being good with finances is its own thing. Mm-hmm. My mother's an accountant. What she could do in numbers versus what it's some different. Other shit. Yes, right. That's a whole different. And so it's okay, if financial literacy is what we need, don't shit on somebody because they don't have that. Either help them get to it, right, point them in the right direction, or you know what I mean? None of us know everything.
I think it's the same when I was, many years into my artist career, I may have said some questionable things in an interview. And so my Atlantic Records calls me and says, hey, man, we're going to send you to media training. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What is that?
I know media training.
I know what I'm saying.
I meant what I said. Right?
I said what I said.
But
they're like, yeah, all right.
It's a record company or a publishing company being able to say, we want you to know this.
Yes.
So we're going to send you.
We're going to train you.
We have these things available.
Yes.
And that's all I'm saying. Now, if you don't tap into it, fine. Because I'm with you on if all of the shit is in front of you, there are things that are in front of people now that were not accessible to us now, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, because the information isn't readily available yet all the way, there's so with all of this stuff that I'm doing, I be talking to these people, and every single day I feel stupid. Every day, because it's something else I didn't know.
That means you're learning.
Yeah. But it's so complicated is what I'm saying. It's so, especially specifically with songwriters, right? Because songwriters, our money is regulated by the government, where the record companies are in a free market. So we dealing with the U.S. Copyright Office, right? And we're hella disconnected from. They in D.C.
Right.
So the people who deal with our money,
not even in the music business.
No, it's 3 judges. Yes. It's 3 judges. One of them is a expert in economics. One's in admin, and one's in copyright. And none of them, we don't know them. They don't know us. But those are the people that are in charge of how much. So it's it's so much shit.
Yeah.
To know.
Yeah.
That I feel like. That's why I still have that soft spot you talking about, mm-hmm, because there's executives I talk to that are like,
didn't know that.
Yes,
it's done that way on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said the shame part. I think the shame part stops some people from trying to learn because they feel stupid the fact that they didn't know.
And also the other part that stops people is if they're seeing a significant amount of money.
Yup.
They feel like they're good.
They don't need to ask.
They don't need to ask any questions. I just want to get to the bag. I don't even care about all that.
It's that's where your bag is at.
You don't even know about these other 3 bags that are sitting collecting interest.
I'm learning about neighboring rights right now, and it's so confusing to me. But it's so much money. There's so many different little sound exchange and all the MLC and all these different, and it's all different systems. And if you're published, most of these things you can't even participate in because your publisher represents for you. Right. So like, though we should be educated in all of this, they kind of make it so that you can't, like, I be trying to educate people on MLC, but it doesn't matter because they don't have any say over.
Because they're in publishing deals.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, and so I think it's like there's so many things that stop people from trying to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. We have to figure out ways to keep them going and, and continue to educate them. And that's why you're an important guest for us.
Yep.
No, seriously.
Thank you.
Like, because we have to have these conversations and we have to have them from all sides of the conversation.
Yeah.
And it just can't be an agreeable conversation. It has to be like, because we have to figure out ways to get to as many people as we can. Mm-hmm. Because there's still going to be people who just they're going to do it their way.
Yeah.
My thing is, I look at it like there should be some requirements, in my opinion,
and
in this business, because we are literally the only like free. It's not free, but the most free business to just jump into. Like, even if you gonna sell houses, they're gonna still make you get a real estate license. You know what I'm saying? Or a brokerage license or something. The music business is such the Wild West.
Well, but I think the thing is that's why I've been talking to like the companies, right? So my thing is, like, throughout this process, I've fallen in love with law, politics. Like, I love negotiating. I love these hard ass conversations. I love sitting on the opposite side of the table and figuring out how this could be mutually beneficial. Like, you want what you want, yes. I want what I want. So let's talk, right? This is not like I say. I recently. I made a reel the other day and I was talking about, so I've been like talking about Beyonce on my platform for like the last, I don't know, week. And so many people are like, oh my God, you're not fucking scared of the beehive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know how to communicate. Like, I'm not on here like FUB, you da da da. I'm talking straight facts. This is the numbers. This is the dollars, this is the cents. Like, you could be mad I said it, but I'm not saying anything that I can't back up with a paper trail and a this and a that, right? And so I feel like if more of us were willing to have those hard conversations and say, yo, Beyonce, like, yo, Parkwood, yo, whoever, Scooter Braun, whoever, like, this shit is a negotiation. And sometimes you might not close the deal. That's part of it. I say no to mad shit.
Yeah.
But I don't undervalue myself anymore.
That's a very important thing, as you just said, though. Saying no.
Oh my God.
Because like I said before, we're in a little bit of a different business than this business used to be.
Absolutely.
It used to be way more gangster. Mm-hmm. Where it was physical and it was threatening and it was all these other things. So, and I come from that business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I'm saying no to some real gangster shit. Mm-hmm. So now when I see, and maybe it's, it's the old man in me. When I see creatives just giving in and then complaining, I'm like, wait, well, what did they do to you to make you do that?
Yo,
nothing.
Right.
You did it on you did it on your own.
See,
yeah,
that's when if it's nothing. Tricky. But see, because here's the thing, right? I get stories of like, yo, I tried to negotiate this and they threatened me, or I tried to negotiate this and I talked to this one producer, this album that was really great. Everybody knows the artist. Mm-hmm. Album comes out, the producer DMs me, is like, yo, all my records got pulled off of this record. And I'm like, damn, why? What happened? Because I wouldn't give the artist manager a piece of my fee. But my fee was only, and I'm like, it's not. So it's like, so the person tried to negotiate and he got squeezed and then pulled off the shit, right? And so I think like, you gotta be willing. That's why I say you gotta be willing to take the L's, right? You gotta
be willing to take the L's.
I'm about to say, you gotta know how to negotiate. Because I've given...
Listen, I've been on all sides of that.
Whether it be publishing,
yeah, like I've been on all sides of it where I just felt like, okay, this one isn't worth it. No. Hey, bro, no. Or I felt like, you know what? This gonna do something else for me. It's gonna help me in some other way. Hey, man, go ahead. Come on. We're gonna chop up something.
Can I tell you what one of my ideas is for the like swap with publishing? So I feel like maybe I've been swimming against the current when it comes to everybody being in the publishing, right? Like everybody's in the publishing now. And so I feel like it might take longer to get everybody out of the publishing versus just getting more for the writers because everybody's in the publishing. So like you just said, oh, this might work for me in some other way, right? So if an artist is taking whatever amount of publishing, it's like the writers and producers should be able to recover that money somewhere else because there's a whole lot of other places to recover it. It's not like publishing isn't earning what it's earning anymore. So yes, like I said earlier, yeah, you know, the opportunity may open other doors, but the back end money is not sustainable income anymore. So if you're going to take publishing, like I said, making sure background vocalists are credited correctly, making sure even with like session musicians, like if you playing piano or you playing guitar or bass or something, you can be paid as a session musician, and you could get paid a fee for your services from the label as well as residual income, and that's master money. So that money is good money. So it being stuff like that, like artists like, yo, stop putting out albums when the split's not done. Like get the shit done, but it take everybody working together is what I'm saying. Like, and so it might be easier for the songwriter or producer with the leverage to get their splits done,
Right.
you know, because they got the single and they need to sync that and they need to put it in. So they got all these deals to do with the song sometimes. But the whole thing should be taken care of. Like, it's bad business on all sides. Like, why are you releasing this into the world? When
Well, I'll tell you what. A union changes that.
Yeah.
But that's a very dangerous word.
I mean,
But
why though?
I'm
Why do you think it's a dangerous word?
Because now
there's a power that comes along with a union.
Yeah, and
power is a drug in itself.
You're going against something extremely powerful,
And
which
established.
which again I say was designed to take advantage.
Yeah.
And once you put yourself in a position to start not being taken advantage of, that's a different kind of fight. And I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that as we speak
You know,
on it.
as I do this though, like I feel like so many people are always like, yo, you're not like worried about this and worried about this dang. You know, and when I get into the room with these, like this shit is, the shit that people think is happening is not happening. It's not. If you know how to have a conversation, that's why I said I love negotiating. It doesn't have to be disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of stuff. That's why I said I love my relationship with John, right? Like I could come to him with all kind of ideas. And sometimes he'd be like, Tiffany, no. I shot my shot though. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that doesn't mean that our relationship is ruined because I shot a shot. That doesn't mean that. It's like, no, I'm going to continue to ask one of the most powerful people that I know in the game to try to, you know what I mean? And so I feel like there's all this fear attached to it because we don't have education on how to communicate with each other and how to negotiate, because negotiating is a skill. And, you know, like all I've been doing the last 2 years is having hard conversations. So I got a lot of practice with sitting in the hot seat, right? Mm-hmm. But everybody don't know how to sit in the hot seat and be like, you know, and everybody doesn't treat, like the way that some of these people deal with me might not be the way that they deal with some of the other people because of what I'm doing, right? But like, you got to ask for what you want. One of my things I always talk about with network, right? Like, I don't give a fuck whose phone number you got in your phone. If you can't call them and get them to do something, it doesn't mean shit. It don't mean nothing, right? So like developing these relationships and not being scared to ask for what you want and not being scared to be told no, because that's a part of life. Like I got a lot of no's throughout this process. There have been so many people that thought I was crazy, all kind of shit. All I needed was for Big John to say yes. I didn't need the whole music industry to say yes.
Right.
Him saying yes opened up doors and made other people say yes.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And so but it takes you having the courage, having the plan, having all of the things, and, you know, and going for it and asking the hard questions. I don't think it's as dangerous as we think.
Well, I mean, the only reason I say that is because in order for all of it to really work, it has to be
you got a majority on board. Yeah,
that's it. But it
has to be the mob and the majority.
Yeah,
and it's always somebody that'll fold. Right.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But getting to that majority,
it takes time. That's why I'm here. That's what this is.
It is You know
helping
what I'm saying?
get to the
and nobody, but nobody can. What's the movie? What's the football movie when the NFL players quit, so they just went and got a bunch of people off the street?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is.
Replacements or something. It was like
replacements.
I need to watch that.
And so
it was a comedy, but you still got to
but
see
the concept of
and so it's like
there's always somebody else that'll write the song.
The stand together and band together.
Yeah, but the song will be trash. So
it don't matter. How many songs are trash? How many songs are trash? And
we got a lot of trash songs.
Yes.
So the band together and the stand together, the unified front that it's going to take to do that is going to be monstrous. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to really, I say we, right? We're going to really have to hunker down and know that building that wall, sheesh.
Yeah, it's
people who will stand unmovable.
up. And the thing is I think the more people who have the leverage to stand up
starts there.
Yes. Like I stand up because I don't like this can't fuck up my money. It's not fucking my money up. Mm-hmm. My money is up more than it's ever been up. Like I'm doing great, right? Mm-hmm. Like but that's not the case I'm not in the studio. So there could be plenty of people that could try to take placements from me from what I'm doing, but that's not where I'm getting my money anymore. So it doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. But for the people who are songwriters, that might need, but for people who can afford to be like, no, need to start saying no. I just was having a conversation with my boy the other day and I said, yo, dog, like, I'm like, this is like the bus boycott. If you was riding the bus and that's the part of history you play, that's on you. That don't got shit to do with me. No one can say, because the thing is I'm doing the work to create the thing. So whether people jump on board is on them, but no one can say that it's not there anymore. It's there. I'm doing the work. Mm-hmm. I'm raising the money. I'm raising the awareness. I've committed my life and my time and my energy to it. I'm building a team. And I say this all the time. I'm like, fuck, like, how big does it have to be before the people that I need to stand up, like you said, to stand up, right? In full transparency, like, most of the people that are on my team are women. Like, and what's crazy is it's a male-dominated industry, and the 100%ers, we advocate for all music creatives, but we focus on marginalized and the marginalized community and the Black and brown community, right? And specific to urban music, it's male predominant. So it's majority Black men that are being taken advantage of in this way, right? So I'm out here like 2, 4, 6, 8, fuck this, fuck that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside of Spotify. I'm fucking calling everybody. I'm doing all of this shit. And I'm like, where are my brothers? Where are y'all? Yeah. I'm the only tough guy? I'm a girl. All this tough shit, but I'm the toughest one in the room. What's going on? Where is everybody? Yeah. Everybody in my DMs. I'm so proud of you, Tiff. You doing this, you doing that, you doing this. But I'm like, yo, I need you to buy a fucking t-shirt, dog, and wear it to the studio.
Right. Do you feel like, because I feel like this whole episode is going to be about education.
Yes.
Do you feel like these people that are jumping in your DMs are truly educated though?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that they just don't. I mean, they're honest with me. Like, yo, Tiff, I just don't want to fuck my shit up. And what's crazy is,
I don't be thinking a lot of these people be knowing because they just don't want to do the work
Jay,
to
wait
know.
Till I tell you
like
these
you've
people
done and
when we get off of this.
When you tell me, I'm sure some
you're
of them I'm
going to be so disappointed.
No, I'm probably going to be like,
and
I knew
here's
they
the
was
thing:
dumb.
it's not even just that. Well, it's not even just that they're not just that they're not educated. Some of these people just ain't with it. Like some people ain't about it. Some people are not thinking about everyone. Like I'm like thinking about the future.
You got to really have your eye on the bigger picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
In order to stand in that gap
and
right?
say no.
And like you said, like. You're invested in other things.
Yes.
Right? And so for people who are only invested in music, you know, you definitely alluded to this.
Yes.
You know, standing on this front line or helping us build that wall is a hell of a risk.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, let's say an NBA lockout, right?
Yeah.
The high level guys are fine.
Yeah.
Paper's good. But what about the low level guys?
But I'm trying to get the high level guys.
I'm getting back to the fun that you were talking about creating and, you know, some type of relief while everybody says no.
Yeah.
Things have to change.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is I'm not asking the low level guys. I'm asking the high level guys. I'm asking the high level guys to say, yo, when this person is not giving you money for XYZ or when so-and-so is trying to take publishing or whatever it is, to say, no, you don't need this cut, dog. You got the #1 record for the last whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are not thinking about others. They're not looking at how their decisions affect the next songwriter and producer. It's like if you take, like I've talked to producers now, like the producer fees are going down, right? Like, yo, you take $8,000 for a track, you're making it harder for the next producer that comes behind you to get what they're trying to get because they know that they could pay you $7,000, $8,000. I'm talking like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
but it's so interchangeable.
It's interchangeable, and it's
but it's not the same people. But it's not the same people. Hits. The same people who have been writing hits are still writing hits. It's the same people. When we go into them credits, it's still the same people.
It's the same people getting the opportunity
because
they're proven.
But then the other thing,
that's what I'm saying though. But those are the people I'm trying to ask to make better decisions.
But this same money too, though, that you're speaking of, is also recoupable. And at a certain level of your career, some people are fine with not taking an advance because that's what this business is built on advances.
Yeah.
That they're going to make you pay back. So myself, if I'm looking at something and I'm like, oh, this is a big place and I feel like it can do some numbers, I might do it gratis. I might say, you know what? I'm not going to charge you nothing for this. Maybe you just, when I need you to hop on something for me, you do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I'd rather see my money first album sold than, oh, they gave it to me after they paid my $8,000 back that now turns into the 11.5.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you never end up getting any royalties from your producer points anyway. Like all of that, I feel like it's like fake money.
I don't know about...
For producer, you get producer fee money? I don't know nobody that got producer fee. I mean, got royalties from their points. I've never met them. Wow, are you guys the first ones I meet? It's nice to meet you.
Welcome to R&B Money.
Can I ask you guys? I know that's right. Well, can I ask y'all a question?
Of course.
So,
of course.
Y'all wrote records in a time when records was for real making money from radio, from sales. So publishing checks look different.
Yeah.
So have you seen a difference in the checks that you was getting then versus the checks that you get now?
We restructured our business.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't.
So that the business was more on our side.
Okay.
We stopped taking advances. We stopped, like, and I get it. When you're trying to survive, you got to
you got it. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
The only income,
but
right?
me and this man had a real conversation one day about how we were going to move forward and how we were going to have real stake in the game and ownership.
Yeah.
And just like anything else, you go to a bank, they're going to own the house.
Yeah.
This is how business works.
Absolutely.
And that's the sad part about the music is because it's such from the soul.
Yeah.
That people thinking the songs are they're kids pretty much. Yeah. It's like that we get mixed up and we get cloudy.
Well, and it's because it's a product.
On what it really is.
This is a song.
It's a Coke can.
This is a song.
Right?
We finna sell this. This is the song.
As many times as we can. So for us to answer your question, it made more sense for us to say, and when we did it, it wasn't like, everything is just, gold paved roads. We literally had to scale. We had to scale back and say, hey, man, if we want to have some ownership in ourselves, we can't keep taking the same type of shit that we've been taking because it doesn't make sense for both sides. Yes. It doesn't make sense for our partners.
Right.
It's not mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
And we had to come to terms with what came along with that and reinventing.
And that's the long game. That's the long.
Yeah. Reinventing ourselves and believing that we would get cracking again.
Yeah.
Thank God for when we changed our lives. Because when we cracked off, we owned ourselves.
100%.
We didn't have co-pub deals. We didn't have, you know what I mean? It wasn't
R&B money.
It wasn't somebody controlling.
I love that.
Your intellectual properties.
Yes.
Everything that we're a part of, we own or have ownership in.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Yes.
Do you feel like ownership like, do you feel like, because to have ownership, you have to have money. To play the long game, I feel like you have to have money, right? Like the publishing game, there's a lot of money in it, but it's the long game. That's why people buying up all these catalogs, because they worried about that money in 20 years, not right now, right? But if you can't play that, you got to have money. So like, how do you? Now I'm interviewing y'all. How do you do that on a scale, the scale that y'all are on like how do you redo your business on a scale where do you get a job and do an admin deal and do a like what?
That is my advice.
Get a job and do an admin deal.
Not even just get a job and do an admin deal. Do something that's going to take care of your family so that you have the ability to now say no.
Can I say Kevin Randolph was the first producer that I met who was also a touring musician. He like
all of it.
Yes, he an MD.
Yeah.
He like when I met him, he was on. He was doing the Toni Braxton when she had a residency in Vegas. And so he wasn't pressed about if a song got placed because he was playing in church. He was playing everywhere.
All of it.
It can't be all or nothing.
Yeah.
It can't
not
be.
anymore. You can't afford it.
It never should have been.
It never should have been.
It never should have been. And this is the reason why a lot of people got into bad deals.
Yeah.
Because that little 15, 20, that 7,500, whatever that was, that those deals from that, that certain dude that signed up a lot of writers back in the day for very cheap. I'm not mad at him. I'm not him. I wouldn't do what he did. I felt like he was a colonizer and he took from a lot of us, not me. Because I didn't do that deal, but I also was in a different space. And I also could say no. But when he was giving them $5,000 publishing deals to people, but then ultimately setting them up for other things, he utilized his positioning in the business. But it was also because such and such didn't want to go work a day job.
Well, and I wanted to say to you on that part, right? Like I remember when I first moved to LA and like being broke. And I got a job for like 2 minutes. I literally had a job for 2 minutes. Soon as it was like, yo, can you come to the studio?
I'm out. I quit.
Right?
I gotta go.
I quit, right? And I feel like that's always the reason, right? It's always like, and I felt like I was always making up in my head, like, what if I'm gonna have to be at the studio and I miss the moment to work with whoever the fuck that I wasn't finna work with, right? Like, it didn't, all those moments never happened, right? So I just was broke because I was just broke, but I also feel like, because the music business is so flashy, right? Like there's a bit of like, I don't know if the word is not shame, but like everyone's putting on like they're good. Like you don't want nobody to know you broke. You don't want nobody to know you got a job at wherever the fuck. And so I think that's part of what like I think messes with people having a job.
Young fella just gave me his YouTube page as he took my order in Chick-fil-A. And I went right to it.
Yeah.
I commented on the page.
Right, it didn't stop you from,
you didn't
stop
look
you
at
from,
him like,
you're not.
Nope.
I actually respected the fact that he had a job.
Yeah.
And I told him that. I said, hey man, keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep doing this until you don't have to anymore.
I love that.
This will help you not make bad decisions.
And I think people don't realize that I don't care what grind it is.
Yeah.
It's respected.
James Fauntleroy.
Yeah.
James Fauntleroy. When I met James Fauntleroy from the hood in LA with a backpack on, and he used to say that his best friend in there named Boo. It was like a ghost. It was like he had a thing. James had no money. You know what his currency was? His gift.
Yeah.
I didn't look at him like, because the song that he played for me called Storm, that I still remember 20 years ago, to me, made him wealthy in my eyes.
Yeah, it didn't matter what job he had.
So if you're
But it's that perception, is what I'm saying though, yeah.
But that perception, honestly, y'all, don't mean shit.
It's dangerous.
It means it don't mean nothing.
It doesn't.
If your gift is that real and you're that talented, it will get you through, and you can go have a job and be like, I
need
a hookup at Macy's too, bro.
Period.
Yeah.
Don't
I actually
starve.
I'm in Nordstrom's, man. They got a sale.
Don't starve. Don't be a starving artist. Don't be a starving artist.
You don't have to be.
You don't have to be.
You don't have to be.
Yep.
And that's a very, very important thing that I just want to keep driving.
Yeah.
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
If you're of able body and mind, which most of you are, because it takes an able body and mind to be in this shit.
Hell yeah.
You can also go get a gig.
And there's so much stuff, so many things that you could do now. Like, I mean,
so many things.
Like as a producer, if you're not on BeatStars letting people license your beats while you waiting for Drake to pick your beat, you're tripping. Like that's just passive income. I know producers that are like making $20,000, $30,000 a month off BeatStars, chilling.
Yeah.
Yo, if I was 19 in this industry right now,
Be fucking loaded.
I'm kicking you young niggas' ass.
Man.
I'm kicking y'all ass now,
Yeah.
but I really be kicking y'all ass then.
Because there's so much more to do.
So
There
much
is.
free money out there.
Yeah, there's, I mean, you could be selling, but see, okay, so I talked to this one producer that was like, you know, those type beats, type producers, they not real producers. So there's like this whole.
But what about the kid who produced Lil Nas X for $35 and now has made millions of dollars?
And also because.
Come on, man.
I feel like money is money. And I feel like there's B-star producers that are making more money than
some of these producers you think cracking.
Yeah.
Man, they putting a poor pride price on their shit, and it's just not that serious.
You could be doing B-stars. You could be making splice kits. You could be on sound.
And that's why it's so cool that you pulled up, because people that are looking at your platform are only seeing you one way.
Yeah.
I know that because I've had conversations with people that are like, that have said things, and I'm like, tell about Tiff.
Yeah.
No, like Tiff is behind something. She believes in something.
Yeah.
She's trying her hardest to get something cracking.
Mm-hmm.
She's not just standing on the soapbox yelling at people.
No, I'm a disruptor. It's
fine.
Yeah.
But what happens is it becomes one-sided if that's all they see.
Yeah.
Like, you needed to be here so we can have these conversations. So you can also say, yes, go get a job. I'm not telling you to just...
No, I'm not saying to just do this.
Try to get this 150 or this 500 a day.
No, get all your money.
When you haven't even earned that spot
The
to get
reason
there
why
yet.
I can do everything I do is because of all the multiple streams of income I have. It's not, my money is not coming from one place.
Mm-hmm.
So if one thing got cut off, it doesn't matter because I know I could get money over here. I can get money over here. I can get, like with BeatStars, right? Like I used to write hooks with my homegirl Bree. And we did hooks on BeatStars years ago. I still make a little couple $100 on my PayPal from BeatStars. Yeah. And guess what? I buy my Postmates with that shit.
Get your gas with
yes, I pay a fucking bill with that shit. All the money, all those different streams of income, like you're not too good for that shit. Like on Sound Better, yo, me, Mickey Shiloh, and my girl Bree cleaned up on Sound Better.
Use your gift.
Wherever they want to pay.
Listen.
Yes, don't let people talk you out of.
If it go bad for me, I'm gonna start writing niggas cards to their girls.
Period.
But I have a gift. I know how to put words together. What you want to say to it, player?
And that'll cost you.
All right. That's gonna be $200.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, what? How do you say your name? Because I don't want to put my name on it. Like, man.
Period. I used to do that on BeatStars. It's like my name, and when I was Sound Better, right? I used to do demos and like, you know, features and shit. Like, yo, don't credit me. Just
pay me.
Yes.
I need this cash.
Yes.
Man.
Yo, I made maybe over $100,000 on Sound Better in like a year. Like, and that was just Sound Better, right? And so here's the thing. See, I'm a hustler. So Sound Better pays through PayPal. PayPal has this thing called working capital, and it's based off of you having. It's all based off of how much money you make with PayPal. It's not based on credit. It's how much money. So when you start making good money on PayPal, you can start to pull out. So you
can use it as a bank.
What?
Yeah.
Me and a couple of my homies was running it off of just that. Like, and it's like, there were people that were like, yo, that's not real music. I'm like, yo, I got more money than all y'all off of just this. Like, while you like, this is not real music, I just turned something in and my PayPal is going off in my sleep. I'm waking up and I got an extra
cash.
Yeah. And so I think it's just like diversifying your income streams so that you can afford. Because it's, I mean, to say no is to be able to.
Shout out to Urban Juice. I just opened my juice bar. Since we're talking about
diversifying
diversifying your portfolio.
I want some juice.
I've had juice.
Listen,
it's tasty.
You know what
really
I mean? If you ever around there, get you one. It's called the Valentine.
Very good.
We spell urban with a V for the Valentine as well. But no,
get your money.
This is what we have to do.
Get your money.
And when
look at y'all are doing
I be in there like McDowell's from Coming to America. Make sure they know about the new.
Period.
Have no shame.
No, this is your business.
In my business, it's something that Tyler, the Creator, just said on his page that's been going around. He said it a little while ago. All you niggas out here promoting for a week in your story?
Tripping.
I've been promoting for a year
forever
out.
on the same thing.
And I'm going to keep promoting because this does not get owed to someone new.
Sure doesn't. Ever.
Absolutely.
Not never.
It's somebody that has not heard what we did 40 years ago.
Always somebody.
50 years ago. You ask, there's kids out here that don't know who Jodeci is.
Facts.
Yep.
And are going to go dip back into that
Blasphemy,
catalog.
but they don't know who Jodeci is.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like we have such a big like examples of people who have diversified their income. Like when we were talking about this, I was thinking about Rihanna. I'm like, she got Fenty skin.
She never got to do
She
another
got
album.
lingerie. She got makeup. She got fucking whatever you got. And when I tell you, I'm a diehard. I do Fenty skin. I got her makeup.
You're part of the Navy, huh?
I'm like Rihanna.
I remember that about you.
Rihanna dropped some new
I
soap.
remember that about
I'm
you.
at Sephora. Yes, I'm like
4 of those.
That also goes to, right? We called it, because that's the new thing.
What?
Clout.
Yes.
But you have to also create a level of fame to now truly diversify what you're doing and be able to sell multiple things.
No, you don't. Why do you think that?
Listen. Because people like to follow the famous.
Yes.
People like to follow the famous. People like to have what the famous have, or what they use, or what they wear, or whatever these things, or what they drink.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to sacrifice some of the other things, some of your other gifts to get to a higher space to be able to
do all those other things.
Be able to do all those
Hell
other
yeah.
things.
And then once you get there, there's so much shit that I'm getting into now that I do all of the like when I do informational content for our platform, I do all the voiceover work because I don't want to pay nobody to do it, right? But then I figured out, damn, I'm good at voiceover. I'm really good at voiceover. Damn, I like this shit. Damn, I done figured out how to work a camera. I'm doing green screen and shit. So learning all these new things and diversifying my portfolio, if you will, as far as skills and services that I have to offer. Like one of the things I'm about to start doing is people always asking me for information or like advice on shit and can you look at my deal and can you this and you that. I'm like, consultant fee.
Listen. The people that I've consulted for shall remain nameless, because I have consulted a lot in this industry, and I've done it for free for some people.
Yeah, I do it for my homies, but it's done. It's enough. I give enough.
My time costs something.
I give enough.
Time in your brain.
In my brain.
Yeah, my brain. Well,
time in your mind.
Yeah, but you could sell like if you're a creative, especially if you establish, there's so much shit you can sell.
Just like you said, establish. Like me and this man, we jumped the line in podcasting. We jumped the line. I am not afraid to say that. Because of what
all the other shit you did though, you didn't jump the line because you already did the work.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Though. Some of those sacrifices
paid off in long
led to the R&B Money Podcast.
Yeah.
Niggas didn't even know I was this funny. I'm out here halfway funny and shit. Got some jokes for these motherfuckers, right? But what we went through, that process, my man had some bad deals early on. Bad dealings. But stayed the course.
Yeah.
He didn't cry about it. Kept working. Renegotiated. That's another big word in this shit. Keep going. Get cracking. Renegotiate. Show these motherfuckers that those first 5 songs wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those next 50, you really getting to your chicken. You said it earlier, the long game.
I mean, yeah.
We're so stuck on the short.
Yes, we
I
are.
gotta have what they got right now.
Especially now, because everything is so fast. It's instantaneous. And even with like these artists that are going viral on TikTok, right? Because I had a conversation with an executive about artists going viral, and they were telling me about how hard it is, like with the process of like signing an artist that's already famous, right? And that's that young.
Yeah.
So it's like this person got billions of this and that and the third. They got Balenciaga everything on. Brother is their manager. They off the lean. Good luck, right? And they're already lit. They got money. They cash app crazy.
That pipeline.
Yes, they cash app crazy. They DistroKid nuts, right? But what happens though is sometimes those artists don't have longevity. Like, so you might pop, but if you don't have, like, it might be advantageous. It looks like it to chase that, but that shit, most of the time, it don't last forever because it's going so fast. Something that fast, it burn out quick.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. But yeah, long game is definitely So do you think that playing the long game is about, so then it's not about privilege or money, huh?
No.
Is it discipline?
Discipline is very important. Discipline is this man
discipline,
getting up and working out every morning. That's discipline.
Discipline and, again, education.
And education.
Like actually having a plan and knowing what you want. And the other part of it is being able to live with whatever the results are going to be at the end of that.
I missed out on some big projects. I missed out on some very big projects because I just wasn't going. Nah, I ain't rolling. And I could cry over it, and I could say, oh, well, they was asking. No, you know what? Their terms were what their terms were.
And your terms were what your terms were.
My terms were what my terms were.
That's what I be trying to get people to see. Like, I'm just like, everything is a negotiation. But I do think, though, sometimes saying no messes up the relationship.
Sure.
You know, and so I think there's a fear around that.
You got to be able to live
with the decisions you make.
You got to be able to live with the results.
Damn.
Whatever it is.
You got to be able to live with the result.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I say this. So there's an upcoming CRB trial that's for our royalty rates. Okay. So the last one finally got settled. So I don't know if you guys know about Spotify appealing our rate, our increase. Yeah. So that got settled. And so now there's an upcoming trial for our rates for 2023 to, I think it's like 4 to 5 years, I want to say. And so I don't think that it's something that's like public for real. Like, it's not necessarily the easiest thing to get involved in, but I encourage people to do their research.
Where can they find out? Can you just give like, I want full information for people.
Where can they find out about?
Like, hell
yeah!
What do they have to type into the search engine?
Type in Copyright Royalty Board.
Okay.
Type in Copyright Royalty Board. The government websites are not the funnest, but this is where the people who control our money. Yeah, it doesn't make but like, get familiar, learn these people's names. The person who's in charge of
I read contracts on the toilet. I gotta be there anyway.
Right, just find your time. Anyway. Right, find your time.
You know, like, you trying to get some shit over on me?
Call me. Wrong. Tank, this shit ain't cool.
I'm already taking my shit. Okay.
I'm like, what shit you talking about, man? Just shit. None of this shit is cool.
But listen, you gotta be there.
And tap in. So like so with the 3 judges, right? The people who, or the person who appoints those 3 judges is the Library of Congress, right? So like, get familiar with the Library of Congress. Follow her on Twitter. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, so my bad.
I'm sure if you type in
Library of Congress, black woman. She was appointed by Obama.
Nice.
She's been in the position. She's the first black woman, and I think the first woman to ever be appointed as Library of Congress as well. So she holds a very big position. Yeah. And yeah, like, all these things aren't necessarily sexy, but I would necessary. Like, dive into the copyright CRB. Support the upcoming trial. There's going to be witnesses. So, and the witnesses is 5 songwriters. I don't know all of them. I know one of them. Her name is Autumn Rowe. And they're going to be like cross-examined by the DSP's lawyers. Like, it's intense. Like, it's like a for real, like a whole thing. But they I guess not taking the L, but they taking the brunt, the heat for the community to, you know. But the more invested and engaged everybody is, especially online, like these people are watching. Like you want an executive or somebody to see some shit, send it to me. I'll post that shit. If you want somebody to see it, I'm for real. Like whatever you like get engaged. People are watching. So if you feel a way about how you're getting paid, use your voice. You don't have to say all the shit I'm saying.
So you like bruh from bowling in college. What was it called? He was doing all the big documentaries. It was like Michael Bowling in Columbine or whatever. He was the guy that was like exposing the government, exposing
the white guy.
Yeah. I can't think of his name, but he made amazing documentaries. Yeah. To me, that's you now, for us and for the music business and for creatives and for writers. Mm-hmm. Like you're putting a light on these things. Now what, like you spaces. Said, what we do with them
it's up to us.
It's up to us.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like I think
Michael Moore. I think that's his name. I think so. I hope I got it right.
I want people to understand that like evolution is never comfortable. Growth is never comfortable. Growth is violent. Yeah. Growth is a blade of grass cutting through the ground is violent. A baby coming into the world is violent. Fucking shit breaks in order for things to grow and change, right? Yeah. And so, but I have no malice. I have no skin in the game neither. Like I'm trying to change this shit because I want my friends to be able to pay for their kids' college off the records they write in, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I'm doing this. So like, like I just encourage people to get comfortable in the uncomfortable conversations because that's what we have to go through to get to all the shit that we want. Like we can't be afraid of like I piss people off on a regular, but not because I'm disrespectful. Not because I'm coming at somebody's, no, because I'm having conversations about the money and how this shit should look. And that part of it is a long game too. Like all these things that I'm asking for, I'm not like, I don't have unrealistic expectations about any of this shit. I know I'm not gonna get everything that's on my list, but I'm willing to go in and try to get a little something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
time.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I just encourage people to like get uncomfortable with me. Cause like and your own voice. Like, because I think so many people always say to me, like, well, I don't want to say it like you, so don't say it like me. Say it how you say it, but say it.
Vocal production.
Yeah.
Don't sing it like my demo.
Don't sing it like my demo. Do your own song. Yeah. But say it. Don't not say it. And that's why even with like our merch and shit, I'm like, yo, if you don't want to say it, wear it. That's why I got a shirt that say no budget, no bops. Wear that shit in the studio. They'll figure out that you're not fucking working for free.
No budget, no bops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But use, whether it be reposting something that we post, even if it's informational, it doesn't always have to be the controversial things that I post, but just showing up. Even like
get word out.
Yeah. Like, and just showing, like when we did the protest, like I was so proud of everybody that showed up because them showing up was the disruption. They didn't have to say shit. Them taking a photo in front of Spotify like this was what it was. That shit was in every fucking publication for the music. That was what it was. So then when somebody sees their writer in a thing that's like, yo, this is how I feel about not getting paid, that sends a message. That doesn't fuck your relationship up with your publisher. Yeah. Your publisher wants you to make money too. And I'm telling you from talking to the publishers, they feel the same way. They're regulated too. They're regulated by this. It's the 1909 Act is what we're stuck on. The 1909 Act is the original like copyright act that we're stuck in, and the act has been revised a couple of times, but like literally we're being governed by some shit that it was when the 1909 Act was created, it was over piano rolls.
Wow.
Harriet Tubman was alive when the 1909 Act was created. So we're being governed by, like, this is some real America ass shit.
Somebody connected to a very old family is still fighting to keep that
the way it is.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Very old money, very rooted in
and that bullshit.
Something different, yeah.
And when you get to when you get to like the government level and you start talking to them about it, most of them are not optimistic about this changing. They're always like, Tiffany, I'm always like, we need to get emancipated from the 1909 Act. Like, how can we do this? I'm like, we need people to lobby for us, Congress, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, it's not going to happen.
And the other part that goes into politics is money.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, I feel like if we want all of this shit to change, we all have to pull together. We all have to invest in this shit. Like if we had, like I was talking to somebody yesterday about like paying for lobbyists. That shit is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So we need to pull our money together so we can pay for some lobbyists so that Congress can find out what the fuck is going on.
Absolutely.
The same way they find out about the Clean Air Act or whatever the hell else. You know what I mean?
If we're going to play that game.
If we're going to play that, we got to play the game. And we got to pull up.
I've been to a random fundraiser for that. And that's,
but we need to pull up. And the thing is we're the music business, right? So we're bright and shiny.
And we got the big voices.
We got fame. We have artists. So who doesn't want to meet their favorite artist and be like, damn, y'all not getting paid for this song? I love this song.
Yeah. All right, activists. Tiff, who's also a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
When she feel
singer,
like it. When they got that bag for her. Yeah. She ain't pulling up for the
not for the low. Not for the low.
Yeah, and that's not happening.
Low.
Not
no apple bottom jeans. Not no boots with the fur.
Man, if you pull up for the apple bottom with the fur, you deserve to get whatever you gonna do.
No, not her. Let's get into your mind.
Okay.
Top 5 R&B artists.
Oh man.
Male or female or group?
Like current or just like
all time.
Yours.
Yours.
R&B?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whoever
like only R&B?
Whoever you don't say might not vote with you.
This is R&B.
Like they can
money.
only but like can they do other genres or is it
They can
just
also do other
Every
genres,
genre
but
at
they
this
have
point
to
comes
be
from the R&B.
R&B.
Well, I'm just gonna name my
Foundation.
favorite artist of all time because my favorite artist of all time is Janet Jackson.
That's R&B.
My favorite song
one.
of all time is "That's the Way Love
We haven't
Goes."
got it.
You
Oh,
gotta
my bad.
ask.
Sorry. Okay.
Artists, 5. You got one.
Okay, Janet. Damn, this is hard. R&B, Brandy.
Janet, Brandy.
Love that.
Amazing.
R&B. Stevie Wonder.
Oof. It's great.
Damn, this is hard. Stevie Wonder. I don't know. Greatest R&B artist of all time?
Yours.
Your favorite.
My favorite.
Yeah. And we're not doing numbers. It's not based on numbers or any of that. It's just your
favorite.
Just your favorite.
Okay. Another of my favorites is Usher.
Love Usher. Mm-hmm.
And can I throw like a current one in there? Like just like a new,
Absolutely.
like a newer, like somebody that I'm really enjoying, whose music I'm enjoying right now is Lucky Day. I'm really enjoying his
Incredible
music.
artist.
Yes.
I'm full with Lucky.
That's 5, right?
Yeah.
That's 5.
Okay.
That's 5.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that.
I like that. Okay, I like that. Top 5 R&B songs.
Okay, That's the Way Love Goes.
Ooh.
Is my favorite song ever.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 R&B songs. My top 5. One of my favorite Brandy songs is Acapella.
Okay.
Shout out TC. Fucking amazing song.
See the truth.
Oh my God. Just the vocal arrangement of that song is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that album. Damn, I should have named. Oh, wait. But I said Brandy. Not
Yeah, you said Brandy.
full name. I mean, the song that got my whole shit started was Midnight by Omari.
It made you jump your ass on that plane
Yeah.
and find the underdog.
Yeah. So Midnight. You know what records I used to like? I used to like Maya a lot back in the day.
Hey, Maya was dope.
Yo,
Maya's
like I was
dope.
thinking about that song she had Fallen, or like I mean, there's a whole bunch of Maya songs I like, but I don't know, a Maya record. Do I have to pick it?
Yeah, you got to pick it though. You got to pick it though, because it's discovery.
I love Fallen too.
This is about discovery.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Fallen.
Okay.
I love Fallen by Maya. How many was that?
4.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. I feel stumped. Do I have to name 5?
Yeah, gotta name 5. You can't get out of here.
Get out of here though.
Name 5.
Okay.
Lock the doors on you.
Yeah. Okay.
And make you sign this contract.
Talk about there wasn't no gun in your head. It's like, but the doors was locked. Like, man, they got these hot ass lights.
I was the only girl.
Like, right, I'm the only. Okay. I don't know. I'm naming another Janet record.
That's fine.
What's the record with her and Q-Tip? Is it called Gone? Not Gone. Don't it always seem to go? That you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Got till it's gone. Yeah.
I love that record.
I love that record too. Okay.
That was stressful. God.
Wow. I mean, it's just like you don't know R&B music. This is crazy. Here we go.
I wasn't gonna say it.
You know, this is crazy. The activists for R&B.
Not just R&B.
No, just writers. Period.
For writers.
I mean, but you know,
I listen to the same
where
shit.
we mostly reside.
I listen to the same shit over and over again.
All right, okay. I'm
In
not
my
done.
defense.
Here we go. We're building an R&B Voltron. We're building an artist. Where do you get the vocals from? Where do you get the styling from? Where do you get the
I don't know
performance
why I
from?
agreed to this.
And where do you get the passion, the emotion from?
The vocals.
Let's start with the vocals. Where do you get the vocals from?
Brandy.
Love it. Where do you
Great
get the
vocals.
styling from?
Rihanna.
Ooh, you going. You
Brandy
getting
vocals,
ugly. You
Rihanna
sassy.
style. Yeah.
Where you get the performance from?
Beyonce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, you obviously
This
building the
artist.
building a woman.
Yeah.
If God was a woman, that's what you're
I
building.
mean, why would I not build a woman?
And
This
if,
is an amazing artist.
and if you are the emotion, the passion, who are you getting that from?
Who makes
passion?
you feel it in your soul?
Mary J. Blige.
Hey,
Mary is hey. This might
you might have
Yeah.
built the best artist
yeah.
in R&B money history.
Really?
Yeah.
That artist is incredible.
My God.
The voice of B, the style of Ree, the
Performance of B.
Of Bang.
B.
And the passion of Mary.
Hi. My God.
Yeah, it's out of here. It's out of here. If you're out there, I want to sign you.
Man, what?
And I'll write a song for free for you.
What? You gonna show up to that
Yeah, I'll
session?
show up to that for free.
Man.
Golly.
Yeah. Good job.
You heard me with that
You know
one.
what? She's back.
She back. We got her back.
I recovered. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Full recovery.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tank.
No.
Oh, my God. I'm Tank, and I want to tell you about something that Jay has.
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't do it.
You're going to be amazing at this game.
Oh boy.
It's called I Ain't Saying No Names. Because I
Okay.
know you got stories
Oh Lord.
amongst your travels. The only rules are you can't say no names. The story can be funny or fucked up or both. Just don't say their names. It can't be me and such was at the... You can give, it was this female black artist or this male, this basketball player that wanted to be in the music business, but whatever. Just can't say their names.
Man, I have a lot of stories.
I know you do.
Come on.
I know you do. Give us a good one. Without saying no name.
Will there be one?
A funny, a fucked up one, and this is just like
or
a music,
funny
like a
fucked up.
music business
No,
story
No.
Your journeys.
Amongst your travels.
amongst my travels.
Yeah.
This is a fucked up story, kind of. And I'm gonna since we talking about music, I'm gonna just talk about my experience with music.
Okay.
There was this one time that I went to the studio and I was not working. I just like on some like, yo, pull up type shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. There was this artist there, and the artist had friends there, and it was late. Shit was like starting to feel weird. They was talking about weird shit, and I don't do drugs. I smoke hella weed, but I don't do like drugs. So they had like, I noticed that the girls were like going to the bathroom a lot. I was like, what are they doing? Like, you know, and the person I was in the studio with was like, oh, they probably whatever. And then there was like this really weird interaction with the artist. And like one of the girls that she had with her, I had seen before because she was a stripper. I was with my homegirl at the strip club.
Listen, we've all been to the strip club.
We've
all partaken.
Yeah, so I was with my homegirl at the strip club. She went to go pick up some money and shit. She was like doing like a walkthrough.
Yeah,
whatever.
Go get your money.
Yeah,
baby.
so she went to go get her money. She had like a birthday party there or some shit. She got some money. And so, but I saw that, I was like, yo, I feel like I know this girl that was in the studio. And the stripper girl and the artist were having like this weird ass argument. And it was just like really uncomfortable. I was like, I think I'm about to leave. And the stripper was like, please don't do this to me, please. And the artist was like, get out. And I was like, what the fuck? And she just was like, and she walked out, and I just was like, what the fuck kind of weird shit? And I left. That's my weird story.
Okay.
And they had a cocaine fight.
They had like a weird ass, they had like a weird ass, like, so the artist was like, I'm trying to figure out how to tell it without saying it. So the artist isn't necessarily just the artist. The artist was also like one of those people that you see on like Insta that like, how do I say this? Like the person's an influencer, very like sexual. And so like this person was like giving everybody like lap dances in the studio and like I just was sitting there really like, you know, I'm like,
where am I?
Yeah, like I'm here to work. Like I don't know what's going on. And she's licking your neck. Like I don't know what's they doing coke in the bathroom. She just cussed this stripper out. I'm going home. I'm going home. That's my weird story.
Sessions get
weird.
Your Voltron was amazing.
Thank you.
Your Voltron was out of control.
You're like, that weird story was awful. Sorry, that was my weird
Niggas
story.
gonna be like,
so don't put that in there.
yeah, we put it in there.
That's my weird story. I was just sitting here thinking about all of this.
It's going in there.
We running it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Take.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B. Tiffany Red, we value you.
Thank you.
What you are doing is
pushing.
Absolutely amazing. Keep pushing. There has to be change.
Yeah.
There has to be. Mm-hmm. And there have to be people fighting for it, and those people have to be supported. You have our support at R&B Money.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
Tiffany Red.